Thank you for tuning in to Cripple Talks Comics. I am the Cripple. This is where we get together and discuss comic books, storylines, characters, and all sorts of other things. My co-host Eladrius and our master of time and space, Ziptai. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, folks, welcome back to the Center of the Multiverse. This week is a very special edition. This is going to be about the Defenders. That's right, the hot topic on everyone's mind, lips, and the redheaded stepchild of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not the stillborn baby that will be the Inhumans.
We got words to say.
And from our pre-recording conversations, I would say I am the most positive and I am a firm negative side of neutral.
Okay. I think we should play paper rock scissors right now to see who talks first.
Okay, it can't be me though.
Why
I gotta wait for you guys to start at the beginning because I've got so many opinions.
That's what I'm saying. We should paper rock scissors to see who talks first because we have a lot. Everyone has a lot to say about this in the show.
I want to preface this by saying, folks, not only are we going to give you commentary, we're going to do comparisons to its 4 predecessors and the Avengers setup so far. And if we've got time, I would like to compare the Netflix MCU versus the film MCU and see what our general opinions are. Everyone cool with that?
Yeah, I'm
right,
fine.
you want to rock, paper, scissors for this?
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, damn. Oh, you got
shoot. I know you're crippled. I know you can't understand things sometimes.
Black man, you'll shoot at me.
Okay.
Wow.
And you just lost all of your fan club.
And to think, Luke Cage was the least violent out of all them people in Defenders. But anyway.
Well, he is in the comics. He doesn't fight unless he has to.
They all want
unless he's getting paid.
They all wanted to bomb that building.
1, 2, 3, shoot. I go first. All right. I got some words to say, and I'm going to talk about the main thing that made this entire show suck. Can we all say it at the exact same time? Iron Fist. I love me some Iron Fist. I have preached for this man. I have made videos on my own YouTube channel, Black Otaku Network. Go ahead, check it out.
Shameless plug.
It's not shame. There's no shame at all. I've done videos for him. I love this character.
You've made love to him.
I hate the Netflix version. Finn Jones. Mr. Finn Jones. I don't know if it's your fault or somebody else's fault, but stop doing your own stunts. Please stop doing your own stunts. We talked about this No, we didn't even get to talk about it on a full podcast.
We haven't gotten
We talked about it on pre-record. He can't fight. Stop trying to fight. Get yourself a stunt double. This is what we did for Daredevil. Get a stunt double. It's just going to work for you better because everyone hates you because you slow down all of the fighting. Luke Cage fighting is simply swatting people around and throwing them around, and that's more entertaining than seeing you trying to do kung fu. It's sad. Second, you are not the immortal Iron Fist. No matter how many times you say it. I love how Colleen Wing even said, like, when Claire told Colleen, like, he's the immortal Iron Fist, and he'll tell everyone who's within earshot of him. Because he will say that shit no matter who it is. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. Guess what? Kung Lung is a secret city. No one's supposed to know about it and the fist.
Well, it's one of those things. It's sort of like when you're trying to convince yourself of something. If you repeat it enough times, you got to convince yourself.
Aside from that, I do question whether or not he is the immortal Iron Fist. And if he did not tell me, I would not know because I can count
he is
on
not the
2
immortal
fingers.
Iron Fist. You know what he is?
Fingers, how many times I've seen the Iron Fist.
He's not the immortal Iron Fist. You know what he is? He's the immortal whiny bitch.
Pretty much.
The immortal
I wanted to
defend
it because I like him, Finn Jones as an actor. But
Finn Jones as an actor is okay. I'm not gonna give him any things.
But I'm biased about that because he could be an average actor. It's just that he played a gay character in Game of Thrones, and I'm all about LGBT representation, and so that was really good for me.
So you biased?
Exactly. That's what I said.
Just making sure you know.
That's what I said. I'm probably biased.
Okay.
But then again, I have to ask because, again, I didn't read the Iron Fist comics. I haven't read Luke Cage's comics. I don't know about their interactions. Did you get any kind of camaraderie coming out of that?
Only when he was tied up. And barely anything. And also when they first started talking, but then Danny started talking about, like, I'm the immortal Iron Fist. I'm the immortal Iron Fist. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care. You beating up this little kid. It's like, he was working for the hand. It's like, he's a kid. He doesn't know. He told you he didn't know. But gonna go back some more. Okay. First off, you're an immortal whiny bitch because no matter what happens, you are whiny. And we're not going to really go into like breaking down the entire story like we usually do for what we're trying to do, like explain everything's going on.
Go to
because
Netflix.
Just go to Netflix because this is way too much to really explain. It really is.
We will say this. Okay, you got your heroes, which is Iron Fist, Danny Rand. You've got Luke Cage. You got Jessica Jones, and you got Daredevil.
Matt Murdock.
And then you got your enemy, which is for some reason the Hand. Okay, now apparently Netflix and their various directors did not learn that in Iron Fist and in Daredevil Season 2 that the Hand is one of the most boring enemies that we've ever seen on TV. And they I said one. I didn't say the. I said one.
and it said TV.
I'm just telling you, while we're sending this message out to Netflix TV, let's send that message out to the MCU. No more Hydra either.
We like Nazis.
Put your arms down.
There's only so many times.
True.
It's like evil assassin ninjas. There's only so many times.
You know, if it were every other or something, maybe.
Man.
The Hand has been around.
And talk about, you get applause from me, Netflix. It's a special kind of person that can take a nebulous villain like the Hand and succeed at making them the most boring, non-threatening, non-time-consuming enemy. I mean, they're not scary at all. Every time we see them, they're not scary.
But in their defense, you would rather watch the Hand do something than who they ended up being their actual villain, which is who?
Elektra.
Wait,
Elektra. Let's all ask that question at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Why Elektra? Why Elektra? Why? But let me get back on my Iron Fist rant. I need to get it out. Okay. He is whiny. He is ill-controlled. Literally, like...
Is he supposed to be Zen?
Yes!
Like literal Zen, right?
Well, how many times you saw him use the Iron Fist?
That's my next point.
I think it was 5.
Was it 5?
He used it quite a bit times this time around.
At the end?
No, even in the show, he used it to punch Luke.
Luke in the face. He
used
Luke
to punch
twice with the Iron Fist.
Yeah, he also tried
but that's one encounter, so that's
one for that one. The one where he had to fight all the people in there because he was being a whiny bitch.
Wait, okay.
Oh, when he threw a hissy fit against everybody. They talk about the little baby hissy fit he threw at the hideout.
Yeah, it's like, hey, they want you. How about you stay still? Like, no, this is my job. I need to do this. Like, no, we need you.
Elektra with it once when they stormed the office.
Yeah, and he missed.
In the first beginning,
he missed
the first time, and then he broke her sword the second time. By the way, she wasn't even all that threatening either. If she was going to be a villain, how come she couldn't beat nobody?
Since he brought this point up, can I bring up what my wife and I were talking about?
Go ahead. I'm going to get back my Iron Fist eventually.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But,
we know.
I know.
But we're also going to cover this on your personal podcast.
Yes.
Come on.
And something your friend, my wife, brought up, 5 minutes before you got here, was you could have replaced Elektra with an ancient warrior from, like, Rome or some ancient civilization.
Or an ancient Kung Lung warrior or something.
And been 5 times more interesting than what the hell they did with Elektra. Am I wrong? Any warrior could have filled that slot.
Well,
literally.
It's like, in my opinion, and I'm going to skip around a little bit because, we're talking about the 4 heroes here. And the way, in the first
Oh, you mean like the show does?
In the first 4 episodes, I like the fact that their color palettes, if you look at the cinematics, matched the individual series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the fact that they didn't make that Chinese restaurant scene where they all have to sit down and discuss becoming a team. It's not longer. You could have done, the Hand is giant, right? There's like a ton of ninjas. They could have assaulted in waves. And between every wave, you have them discussing what it is that makes them tick. The fact that Luke Cage brought up the fact that Danny Rand has so much fucking privilege, and he had the ability. Well, no, seriously.
No, I love that. No, I love that.
He had the ability to help people with money rather than running around punching young kids that don't know what the fuck they're doing in the face. He could have easily.
But he knew something. He had to know something. He works for the Hand. He has to be killed by the giant fist.
Everybody at fucking street level, rather than forming contacts.
I just want to point out the Ninja Turtles' fault. The superfluous ninja organization better than this group of people.
We have a message from the Peanut Gallery. What is it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Batman. Okay.
No, don't eat dog.
Okay, listen.
Batman.
Lisa Peanut Gallery. Okay, Batman actually does help the city, just in a shitty way.
Okay, let me just.
He improves everything so he can do things better.
The reason that argument does not apply here, and I'm the first one to jump on the fuck Batman train.
He is.
The thing is that Danny Rand was punching someone who was part of the cleanup crew and 15 years old that knew nothing. He was beating up a grunt for no reason. Batman goes straight after the Joker. There's a difference between going straight after the villain or attacking their teenage, I need money.
Not 3 times removed from the villain.
Now Batman would attack the Grunt only to get information, and he wouldn't try to smash their face in. More intimidation, like tell me what you know, and then I let you go.
Daddy was gonna Iron Fist a 15-year-old kid
in the face,
or do what Green Arrow does from the comic books and pay the kid.
That probably would have been better.
If he'd have pulled out a Hamilton, that boy would have been like, shoot, here is all the information.
I think he did a little bit more than Hamilton's, because you remember he had that stash waiting for him, like a couple of Hamiltons.
Okay, couple Hamiltons.
Like Hamilton's, no, 20? Hamilton's 20.
Hamilton's 1,000, sir. That's Jackson you're thinking about.
Wait, there's $1,000 bill here in America?
That tells you how poor we all are. Yes, a Hamilton exists. It is $1,000 bill.
We've just never seen one.
We've never seen one.
I didn't know they exist. I thought it was always Benjamin's. Excuse me.
No, Jackson is the $20 bill.
Okay, excuse me.
The guy that made all the Indians die.
I sit corrected.
You sit corrected.
But I mean, it's just, there were so many opportunities that they missed in this show to build camaraderie with the characters. They introduced all the side characters from the other series and did nothing with them. They had them sit in a police station and did nothing with them.
Okay. Oh, guys. Okay. We're a superhero team, right? The 3 of us. All of our close, friendly family members are in danger. What should we do? We should put them all in one location.
Place. One location. They'll be safe there at the police station.
That is crappily guarded and has no one with powers. That's what we should do, right?
But they have guns.
Speaking of, you want to talk about powers? What was it with this show and not letting Jessica Jones actually be super strong?
Oh my God.
Except for that one scene.
Once.
She held up an elevator. That was literally it. And she got to throw people, but so did Luke Cage.
And once again, Jessica got to be the voice of the audience. She said, stop scaring. But you know what, Jessica? They were staring because you hadn't done anything super strong for 7 episodes.
They didn't allow her to. They wanted to focus on the fact that Daredevil knew karate. And I'm like, fair enough, he does. But Jessica, when they were coming at her, she shouldn't have been dodging punches. She should have caught the guy's hand and broke his hand and thrown him like away. She threw Elektra across the fucking room, a cave, and hit the dead body of a dragon. And I'm like, where is that super strength?
Or how about that scene where they went in to go get Danny, the hand, and Elektra suddenly had super strength to knock Jessica not only across the room, but into a dent in the wall. Okay, yeah. I'm a comic book person. You are too. When has Elektra ever been strong enough to take out?
That's because she's not Elektra. She's the Black Sky. Brackle Sky. Brackle Sky.
Oh my God, racism.
I'm sorry. Did what was his name? Murakami not say Brackle Sky the entire time? Every single time. It's like Brackle Sky is not the Black Hand. It's like
no. By the way, we want to point out that that's the only thing he attempted to say in English.
Also, I'm also going to reaffirm that this show has proven to me that they've done fucked Madame Gao because she should have been Madame Crane.
Just let me get there. Just let me get there.
You need to
fucking
y'all keep interrupting me, so I can't really say it.
Well, be a man and interrupt us back.
Oh, fuck you then. How about that? Going back. Okay, back to my Iron Fist rant. Not only that, also, how wonky is this fist? When he can't summon it when he wants to, but he summon it every now and then when he can't. Now, all of a sudden, when he does do it, it does different things. Not only does it punch people, now it shoots shockwaves. And then all of a sudden, he can't focus his chi one day. Like, in the comics, we explained that he can only do it once per day. Cool, let's do that. No, he can summon it anytime, but apparently his chi is out of whack. I put in quotation marks up because no one can actually see it. But apparently, he can still do it anytime, and then when he does it, it does random shit every single time. And he's down there in the hole, at the graveyard, where only the Iron Fist can open. Elektra told him, only the Iron Fist can open this. He knows they want my Iron Fist, so what you should do is not use it.
Yeah,
but as soon as he says, your mother
done screamed when I cut her, and he was all
of a sudden fisting
First off, I was like, wait a second, wait. So you're not very intelligent, because she goes, I bet your mom screamed when I cut her. And I'm like, wait. Madame Gao had them killed in a plane crash.
Exactly.
I was like, it doesn't even match up.
All it was like, I mention your mom, then you're gonna doom the entire world. It's like, listen, they want you to use the Iron Fist, so you shouldn't use it. But no, someone that insults your mother, all of a sudden, I have to punch the wall.
Look, we all play D&D. When you break your vow of celibacy, you can't access your key points.
Iron Fist is not celibate.
But the Iron Fist, The Iron Fist
Danny
times...
Rand is not.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've read the Iron Fist, all the history of them. None of them were celibate.
But the Iron Fist times 27, because I'm not going to repeat it that many times, from Netflix, is celibate because he told that Chinese bitch to get off his penis, and then she got on it anyway. So when you break your vow, you lose your key points.
Look,
am I wrong?
All I'm saying is that
Japanese.
No, that's gonna sound really offensive.
She was Japanese.
You know.
She was supposed to be Japanese.
You know, that would be real helpful if we got any tip that she was anything other than Asian.
Or, a favorite word from Eladris here. What's my favorite?
Wing Chinese?
That sounds Chinese.
Wing is Chinese. Wing is not a Japanese name.
Yeah,
she had a Japanese sword, but a Chinese name, and you expect me to believe she's Japanese? Because she bought a sword? My white
her
ass
father passed it down to her from her great-grandfather, who was a samurai.
Her Chinese name samurai great-grandfather?
Maybe the samurai had a daughter and she couldn't take the name of what the actual was.
He was both in the Sengoku Wars and the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I realize about 5 people got that joke, but I'm still saying.
And none of them in this room.
No. He got that joke.
That's Peanut Gallery. No one cares about Peanut Gallery.
No, Eladrius got that joke too. He just wants to make me look stupid.
I mean, it was still kind of a flat joke, but I mean,
I have a sound for this.
You can't wait for him to tell you it's flat and then activate the crickets. It's ridiculous. If you don't know it's flat, you can't activate the cricket.
I've already activated them. They've already played, so just get over it.
You're a horrible person.
And you're horrible. You're a horrible human.
Okay.
And yes, the last thing I'm going to say about Iron Fist, so I would pass it off, I guess, is Gao. They made Gao a bitch in Iron Fist. She was nothing but an old woman. But apparently in Defenders, not only is she badass shooting ki out of her hands for all of a sudden, but also she's part of the main, she is the hand. Even though she seemed like to be answering to Bakuto in Iron Fist, all of a sudden, like, no, she's one of the main fucking people in the hand. That makes no sense. Why you made her seem so weak and feeble and an underling?
And to be honest, even in Defenders, all of the members of the hand, haha, there are 5. Get it?
The 5 fingers of the hand. They said
if you lose a finger, you can still use your hand. Unless it's a thumb.
Oh my god.
You can still use it, you just can't make a fist.
There are 5 members, and Madame Gao is apparently one of them. And by the way, I should note that all of these members of the hand are completely and utterly weak when it comes to our superheroes.
But they're great at monologuing.
Yes.
All 5 of them masters of monologue.
It was never even a question on whether or not the heroes would win. Like, it never even of went back and forth because we knew that they were so weak and non-threatening.
The only one who posed a threat was Gao because she could shotgun people with her hand. That was it. Bakuto was not a threat. Sawande wasn't a threat. Well, Sigourney, I don't even know what Sigourney Weaver's name was. She wasn't a threat.
Alexandria.
No, Sigourney Weaver.
One of them.
Yeah, that was one of her names.
But yeah.
Sigourney Weaver.
Now, and again, like I said, they fucking wasted her in that role.
And can we all agree that we're tired of Marvel doing this in every single Netflix show, which is developing this awesome person to be the main villain,
and then the B-lister to be the
last 3 episodes,
villain.
And it's like, okay, you don't have enough time to dedicate to like this person.
That was Daredevil season 1. And I'm gonna give you a shout out.
And that's why not Daredevil season 1. Jessica Jones did that too. Jessica Jones did that the best.
But
until they killed him.
Well, at the end,
that was a mistake.
I'm sorry, he needed to die. I understand.
But he's the only villain of
I understand, but he was way too evil. He was way too. He needed to fucking die.
He was also way too powerful.
Yes, he needed to die.
That's how you write a villain who looks scary. Not, I'm gonna run up and push somebody with my hand and then do absolutely fuck all. I mean, here they were hyped up to me. I was told that these people used to be ex-elders of Kunlun who didn't agree with the other elders on the direction they were going and how they were taking life, and they wanted to live immortally. And the other elders were like, "Well, we got to exile you because that's not what we believe." And then they
fight worse than Danny, and Daredevil's a better fighter than all of them combined.
Let me put it this way. Using these members of a hand as a rubric to establish the Kunlun elders and how badass they're supposed to be, it's like a preschool taekwondo do. Like, that's what I'm going to expect now.
We have to assume that, aside from Netflix TV Iron Fist, anyone who watches this has to now assume that even comic book Iron Fist is weaker than Daredevil. Because Daredevil is stronger.
Oh, sorry.
You'll be all right. You have the flat. You have a moment.
We got to see how you said that Daredevil was stronger than all 5 of them combined. And yet, Iron Fist trained from the same people these people were masters with. And I'm like, so that means that Iron Fist, if he's the strongest member of Kunlun, he's still weaker than Daredevil.
Never. I don't know if it ever happened in the comics. I don't know. I don't care. I personally don't believe that the guy who's trained by the Chaste would be able to beat the guy who is from the city of Kung Fu, who's supposed to protect the city from everything. How is he not a better fighter than the dude who learned from Stick for a couple of years and then had developed his own shit?
In slight defense of the character.
Of which
I
character?
feel like, of Daredevil.
Okay.
In slight defense. Not the Netflix version. We're talking comic books here for a quick second. I believe that Iron Fist would be the better fighter, but I feel like I'd like to see the fight. I don't think we could declare Danny the immediate victor.
Okay.
Can you give me that?
I'll give you that.
He's definitely the better fighter, but I feel like we can't just straight up declare Danny the immediate victor.
And another big, huge bone I have to pick with this show was the fact that they tried to merge all, and you can tell that when I told you guys that the director of season 2 of Daredevil was the director for Defenders, you can blatantly see it because he relies heavily upon Daredevil's fighting choreography, his fighting scenes. So he forces all the other actors to try to choreograph their fights the same way Daredevil choreographs his. Hence the reason when you see martial arts, towards the end, Luke Cage is starting to block more martial arts rather than street brawl. Jessica Jones can't dodge a punch to save her life, but she can throw one. She only needs one. And they won't even let her fucking attack. They won't let her throw people, won't let her punch people. When Jessica Jones hits you at full power, do you not think bones break? And yet, no, these people get the fuck right back up.
I thought the Iron Fist, from what we've seen, can not only, shatter a giant metal door and punch Luke Cage into a wall, but apparently it could hit Elektra. It can hit all these what are they called?
Hand ninjas.
They're mooks. They're actually in the comics they're called mooks, which is the groundlings who are there to get their ass kicked. The grunts, the putties.
Dirty ass mooks.
He's hitting them, yet they're not exploding into blood matter.
Oh my god.
That's what should happen with the Iron Fist.
Did that not hurt you, seeing him wield it like a fucking sledgehammer rather than...
he was sitting there. Fluid there.
Going I'm sacrificing all form to just club you to death with my hand.
Here's my question, Mr. Iron Fist and martial arts expert. When you were focusing more to generate your chi, wouldn't your moves be more fluid and precise and less like a Nerf hammer?
It depends if you're focusing all your power into one move, but then it doesn't make any sense, because if you're focusing it all into one move, once you use that move, that's it. Which was what happened in the show a couple hundred times. He uses it, all of a sudden he can't use it for a while. But in the final scene, he's just wielding that shit all willy-nilly, and it's all totally good and fine.
And I mean, I wish another thing that appealed to me about Iron Fist, and from what you've told me and what I saw online before watching the series, either series, was that Iron Fist was a martial artist. So he doesn't rely heavily upon the Iron Fist.
No.
He can use it when he needs to. But they should have gotten... Now, I'm going to repeat what's been said a million times. They should have let him, if they weren't going to keep him with the cheesy outfit, at least let him put something to cover his face. So they could have gotten an actual martial artist in there.
They did. There is a scene in the thing where he puts on a hood. And as soon as he put it, it's like, okay, Sun Dope's coming in. Because there's no reason for him to be in a hood, because it's at night. He's about to fight the dude in an alleyway. All of a sudden, he just puts on his hood. It's like, okay, we're getting a stunt double. And then when someone starts to fight, it's like, yep, stunt double, because Fix Jones cannot fight like that. They did it for like 2 scenes where he put on a hood. And when you put on a hood, that means it's not him, and he fights better. Somehow.
Can we just agree also that you've done 2 seasons with this character now, and we haven't thrown him a costume? And that's
no, they don't
ridiculous.
Want to. The director of Iron Fist season 1 said that they did not want to give him an outfit.
And that's why his ass don't have a job no more.
The same thing of the reason that they did not want him to expose his Iron Fist, because he's so much more than his superpower.
But he's not.
Here's the problem with that. If you're going to be a vigilante, you shouldn't be known as Danny Rand, who everyone can recognize as soon as they see you.
Yeah, I mean...
So you need a fucking mask.
You haven't heard of Bruce Wayne? The vigilante who runs around and calls himself Bruce Wayne.
I'm just saying.
I know, right? Like,
Wayne when he beats the shit out of the Joker.
But no, it's like even when he goes into business mode, it's like, hey, I'm gonna do my connections to be Danny Rand. He still goes into the conference like, I'm the immortal Iron Fist. I will beat all of you the hand.
Wasn't his fist glowing when he said that?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But
Sigourney Weaver's attitude in that moment was exactly mine. And
it's like,
well, I'm gonna beat you all.
Okay, but you're in our building.
She's just like, no, keep going. By the way, did you know that when the World Trade Centers fell, there was not a single cloud of dust or anything that actually happened aside from debris. It all just went into the ground.
Okay.
Because when you put a square peg into
Okay, let's explain a bit before we get to work, because that was a bit of a thing.
I'm gonna explain this.
Okay, go ahead.
I brought up the thing.
Okay.
They built this giant building that the hand runs on a hole, okay? This hole goes all the way down into the earth and apparently is built on top of the grave of a giant dead dragon.
Many dead dragons.
Many dead dragons, yeah.
So now you understand that this building, to function, had to have been built larger than the hole that it is standing on top of. Meaning that when it crumbles, it will leave as much clouds of dust and toxic asbestos and all that other shit that the World Trade Center let out. However, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Danny Rand decided to blow up the building because they won't hurt innocent people if we blow up the building.
I know, we'll only kill the hand,
Exactly.
although...
Only the monsters die, all the innocent people don't. We haven't evacuated anybody, but it's cool. So they blow up the building, and somehow magically, no dust happens, no, actual cancer-causing elements from construction chemicals. It just falls directly into the peg. Having that to work means that the building could not have set normally upon the hole that it was sitting on. It would have had to go directly into
But then it would have overshadowed the incident.
Oh my God.
Which they still brought up.
It just doesn't make any sense. There are just so many issues.
Can I make a quick announcement? Kevin Feige, share your toys. The rest of us were taught this at 2.
Wait, elaborate who that is.
Kevin Feige is the current director of the Marvel Cinematic MCU, and it has been documented on several occasions he will not share any properties that he's used in the movies with any of the televisions, ABC or Netflix, because he doesn't share his toys. And he is one of the reasons the TV universe is struggling, because if you want to make money, you send an actor over for a day. Holy shit, it's Thor. Well, fuck that.
Oh, holy shit, it's Sam Jackson.
What?
Oh, that made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so much better.
It did.
Talk to DC, though, because...
No, I will call out DC, because why would we hire Ezra who the fuck? And by the way, his name is Ezra who the fuck, because I don't give a damn. And when we got Grant Gustin, and fuck the internet and all the people who hate the DCEU and want to say that Grant Gustin's the lame Flash, he is an interesting
Grant
Flash.
Gustin is the best Flash we've had on television ever. I don't care who this baby face is who's going to be Justice League. He is not Flash. Hashtag not my Flash.
And this is from The Flash fan, folks. It's not like it's from some dude who barely knows The Flash. And I'm not a big Flash fan, and I think Grant Gustin is way fucking better.
I feel bad because I know him as the gay guy on Glee.
Now, granted, he's a dumbass
a good singer too.
Yeah, he was gay on Glee.
Granted, he's a
Not
dumbass Flash because he keeps doing the exact same thing over and over again. He's kind of a douche nozzle sometimes.
Barry though.
Not as much. It's okay. Maybe because I binged. That's probably what happened. Because I caught up all with Flash, and I binged it all in like 2 days. So the asshole dickishness of Grant Gustin in season 3 was all at once. So it's like, God, shut up, Flash.
But
I could be wrong, but I always thought that was Barry.
But back to Defenders. Also, the fact that what you were talking about earlier, the fact that they kill off their big series villains halfway through, and they killed Sigourney Weaver with Elektra.
Unceremoniously, at least Cottonmouth got a good send off.
I mean, like we first episode, we see how she's dying. She's an immortal, but her organs are just failing. And now we know her drive on why she wants to do all this, why she's moving the plan up higher, which still doesn't make any sense how Gal was like answering to her, but apparently she's one of the fingers.
They mentioned that.
No.
She won the last coup.
No. Sigourney Weaver's character instigated all of the other 4 to leave Congo with her, and they announced her as their leader because she was going to lead them towards immortality. Madame Gao, again, to show you how flip-floppy they are and how important Madame Gao is, she led the last coup against Sigourney Weaver lost.
I did love that that line. It's like, we've all done coups. It's okay. It's like, yeah, you're the last one that led. It's like, the past is the past. I'm your only ally right now. So let's not worry about the time I tried to kill you. It's fine.
Besides, you were going to come back anyway.
It leads you to believe that if 4 of these hand people are supposed to be as powerful, all 5 of them are as powerful as Kunlun elders, means Sigourney Weaver can lead them and control them. That leads you to believe she's one strong, badass bitch. And yet, no, we don't see her throw a damn punch.
She blocked like 2 punches from recently resurrected Elektra,
and then flipped her.
which was slower than Danny, which makes sense though.
Damage does double damage.
She's an old lady.
I know. When I first saw it, I was like, "Damn, Sigourney, you are getting old. Like you are still."
And she's old.
She's still a cougar. I'm just gonna give it to her that.
Oh, she's still good looking.
That's on you too. I can't.
I'll admit.
Is she a good looking woman? I think you can at least say that.
I can say that she is beautiful, but
She-
she is
I didn't
not
realize how
attractive.
tall she was. You want to bring that up? Like, I never realized in comparison. You
Full.
watch the people in the movie.
They gave her heels. No, she's tall, and they gave her heels. And I was just like, did you not see? Okay, Elektra came up sideways.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
I was like, what? Like, that's not normal.
But like I said, going back, like we dedicate all this time to her, learning all the things that she did, and then we just get rid of her. They do the exact same thing for almost all of the Netflix shows, except for the good ones.
And see, the thing is that going
They
back,
did it
yes,
in
her,
Luke Cage too, though.
I know. That's why
I
Luke
thought
Cage
it
isn't
was
one of
good.
the best ones.
and her, I'll grant you that her combat was not very fast.
Right.
Neither was Madame Gao's, and they could have easily just had her do the same kind of shit.
And you know what? Even when Madame Gao was kind of fighting, taking on Luke Cage and Jessica and flipping them around and then palm shotgunning them in the side, I believed for a second. Especially that one time she dropped her cane. It was like,
no, you're talking about the cane. She beat the shit out of Daredevil.
That was great.
He's got a cane and she beat a blind man with a cane.
But she trains blind men. She's got a whole army of
She
them.
forces them to blind men.
she literally dropped her cane. It's like, oh shit, Madame Gao about to get serious. All of a sudden, nope. Just nope. It was like,
And
okay.
what was that? Like, to cover up how bad the combat was, they shook the camera
And
repeatedly.
And we had this, me and Cripple had this discussion earlier before you got here.
Mhm.
More dark fighting. So much dark fighting
dark fighting, as in like in dark rooms and shit.
that you cannot tell who's doing what.
Explain to him what you did, and then we'll stop because
Like-
I'm going to explain my point of view.
Okay,
on that.
right after Danny punched the wall and opened up the graveyard, I couldn't tell what they were revealing. I couldn't see. And I got so upset because like all that episode was just seeing them fight in the parking lot, which I couldn't see who was throwing what. So I was like, you know what? I can't take this anymore. I paused it. I turned the thing up. I turned the brightness up, turned the sharpness up to see everything because my thing was set to a basic default setting and I can't tell what's going on. Once I put that up, I could see everything. And in the next episode, I saw all the fighting and some of it was actually not, I'm probably saying it was not bad because I could finally see it, but it looked better because I could see. The cripples.
I have a general rule, and this is also aimed at video game producers, especially since every video game now has you set your brightness on your game, right, with the little symbol and your movement thing. I should not have to go in after I've done something like that, where everything else is an okay color on my TV, and fuck with my settings because you couldn't do your job. Your entire job was to light that room. If I'd have done a shitty job like that at my job, I wouldn't have a job.
Like, is New York's electrical work just shitty? Because every place they went to was always a strobing light that just would not
Punisher
stop.
came by and shot out all the lights.
No, it's somebody mentioned this on a different reviewer mentioned this, is the fact that at the first 4 seasons, it's 8 episodes long. First 4 seasons, they do a good job of showing the color palette of
For
each
episodes.
hero. Episodes 1 through 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said season, sorry.
Oh, sorry, season. It's Defenders episodes 1 through 4.
Right.
They show the different color palettes for each of the characters
Which
really
was good.
well. Then in the last 4 episodes, they show nothing but Daredevil's color palette, which is nothing but blacks, different tones of black, and it's like it wouldn't be so bad if I only had to watch the dude in the red suit fight, but because everybody else is wearing darker colors too. It's really hard to see who's doing what.
Also, did it not kill anyone else? Because I thought it was really nifty. You talked about the color palette. If you notice, the first couple episodes when they're establishing everyone as individuals, the shooting style was matching each show. They had the noir style for Jessica.
If you listen to the background music, it's also their reminiscent.
Ooh, I gotta talk about the American music too.
and then
but-
they just drop the ball. Like you said with the lighting, it's the same time. They just
and
go.
for me, the most noticeable part for me was the combat styles. The fact that Luke Cage started doing martial arts, the fact that Jessica Jones started doing martial arts, the fact that I'm like, these are characters that have their own unique fighting style. And to be honest, Daredevil and Iron Fist should not have the same martial arts style. They really shouldn't. Stick, a blind man, taught Daredevil, a fellow blind man, how to fight as a blind man would. Whereas, Iron Fist learned from a bunch of elders how to fight when you can see your opponent. That should reflect it. I was expecting.
Well, that comment's even made in the comics when Iron Fist
Is it
takes over.
Donnie Yen? Is that the guy who? What's his name? The one It Man.
Donnie Yen, yes.
Yeah, I would like to see his fighting style for Iron Fist.
Wing Chun.
Everything is fucking deliberate. Every attack is deliberate, and then when it's not deliberate, he hits you with the Iron Fist. But like I said, when I was watching, I was not impressed. I'm lucky that the series was only 8 episodes.
Yes.
Iron Fist was 13. I barely made it to the end.
As I said, I've said it on the podcast before, I forced myself through Iron Fist because I had to.
Bless you, sir.
I had to.
May the elders of Kunlun bless you on your journey.
Only the ones in the comics. I don't care about the ones that... Okay, hold up. We never answered a goddamn question. What happened to Kung Lung?
No, he did answer that question. It was his belief. He expected to see it all slaughtered and dead, so it was, but it's
No. It was gone. Like, literally, the mountain was gone.
No, that's all what Iron Fist expected. If he expect that they had a whole...
I sometimes wish this was video, because you people need to see how hard I am rolling my eyes.
Did they really say this?
No, Gal straight up says this. Or no, it's either Gal or Alexandria. One of them straight up tells him.
I don't know.
They're having a conversation. He goes, they're like, we want to go home. We want to go to Kung Lung. Well, you killed everybody at Kung Lung. No, you saw what you expected to see. And that's supposed to be the hook.
And we didn't even see anybody from Kung Lung dead.
I'm not even kidding.
We didn't see anybody from Kung Lung dead. We saw a bunch of hand ninjas dead as he was going up there. Exactly. I finished Iron Fist.
Fucking nightmares about all of the Kung Lung people being slaughtered.
And like, okay, listen, dude.
So
like,
I'm fucking confused.
Here's the thing I'm confused by. Like, there are citizens in Kung Lung that do not know any martial arts. They're just citizens.
Yeah.
Well, you need.
But they have a giant army. Like, from 10 years old, you start training. They have a giant army. They have no problem with child soldiers.
It's very much a Spartan culture. You need people to do the different labors, and then you need warriors.
Maybe they're just visiting.
And apparently, the Hand has better fighters than the ancient city of Kung Fu. I'm just going to call it. That's what it is. They should. They ruined Gao. They ruined Gao so much.
Found Kung Lun and gotten trapped there.
Holy shit! There's
trapped.
No, trapped and then left, because I say that knowing that Sigourney Weaver is a white Amazonian woman who was there. The black guy Swamdi was a African. Swamde. God damn it! I know I mispronounced that. Sorry.
It's okay.
I know that there was a Japanese guy and Madame Gao.
Wasn't that dude?
And Bakudo, who I don't know what the fuck he was.
He looked South America.
Yeah, that's all they said. Yeah.
From what I've always seen,
I thought he was Hindi.
It's usually Chinese people in Kung Lung. Chinese people. Is it China, Tibetan?
America.
It's a melting pot.
That confused me very much when they said like we're all from Kung Lung. It's like, wait, hold up. I don't remember seeing no black people in
Madame Gao be.
Yeah, I can see
you know
that.
what? I'll even swing the dude who only spoke Japanese.
Murakami.
I'll go ahead and swing that. You know, okay.
See, it would have been something. No, never mind.
But what is Sigourney Weaver doing there? What is...
Well, her baby died. Her baby died. That's how she got.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, they put so much behind Sigourney Weaver because she was she was the biggest name to this goddamn series.
She's literally
Diamondback is all I'm gonna say to you.
Well, see, I didn't.
What about Diamondback?
No. What I'm saying is,
what about
the
Diamondback?
guy that played Cottonmouth is an amazing TV actor. I can never remember his name. I feel so bad.
It's Muslim, so it's something Ali.
Okay, that guy who played Cottonmouth is an amazing actor. Mm-hmm. I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and I love him.
The woman who played Mariah.
Yes, both of those two amazing actors. Mm-hmm. But we get this random motherfucker who isn't even playing Diamondback. Some cackling son of a bitch.
He would have been good for season 2.
Probably.
He's running around screaming, "Carl! Come on, Carl! What's wrong, Carl?"
Oh my God! Stop, Rick. We get it.
But that's what he sounds like.
Jason.
That's what he sounds like.
The
whole time, and he's just cackling. And halfway through that fight, because we're talking about Defenders, I'm going to bring up these other ones. I'm wondering what's so funny. Is there like?
And like I said, me and my husband. Again, sidetrack. Me and my husband, and no, this applies to Elektra too. Me and my husband got talking about the fact that it's reminiscent of the later series that. Cottonmouth was a very well-developed character and would have been a great villain for the series, for at least season 1. Then Diamondback was brought up, and you brought some character who doesn't even fit the bill for what you're trying him to be. You want him to be this mastermind. Diamondback does not register on evil mastermind to me. He registers on I'm gonna fuck your shit up, but he does not register on evil mastermind. Then they got him doing all this planning and shit. Same thing with Elektra. Out of nowhere, bitch comes out with the fact that, oh yeah, I planned all this, I'm gonna do all this, and it's like,
it's like, I am the Hand now, but I'm not the Hand at all. But I'm the Hand.
And I'm just like, I would believe Elektra would try to throw a wrench into somebody's plans. I do not believe that she is like smart material.
Also, she magically remembers everything, even though we established
because she broke into Matt's house and slept in his shit. So she stalked him, and then she got her memories back. Stalking helps memories come back.
Okay, I want to say this to all the doctors trying to cure amnesia. If you just put a motherfucker on his couch and let him sleep there for a night.
The couch and the bed.
Oh, okay.
And let her and let them sniff it. They have to sniff.
It has
They
to
gotta
belong
go
to his significant
Go home, or everyone you got amnesia. You go over to the person they be fucking's house, and you let them lay in the shit they been fucking in, and then magically your memory is gonna come back because that's how.
I didn't understand how they get rid of her memories in the first place. They say, we brought you, we rescued you back, get rid of the things you didn't need. It's like, so all I saw you do was put her in an urn and put some goo on her. When did you take her memories away?
To be honest, we established that is exactly how the elders come back.
Yes, but they have all their memories.
Well, that and they're not called the Black Sky. So I'm like, what the fuck else did you do to her?
Because she got that she's a magic vessel.
They didn't explain anything.
No.
And they didn't in season 2 of Daredevil. And it was another thing that was like, okay, can we just move past this? This is the most boring, contrived bullshit.
I got 2 points real quick. The first one is, why do we keep calling the substance? Why can't you just say, we want the dragon bones? We liquidate that shit, we're immortal.
It's supposed to be a surprise.
Even after it's like, we must get the substance and go.
You're bathing in oil. That's what
this is
that's fossil fuels, bitch.
It's oil.
That's not mystical black gunk. That's oil.
It's dragon oil.
No wonder your insides is killing themselves.
Oh, wait, I gotta go back on that one too. Okay, when Bakuto was having that final fight with Colleen Wing, okay, they just got the substance. They didn't do anything with it. They just put it in a cup, in a case, and walked away. How did Bakuto take 4 shots in the stomach and didn't even flinch? When he got stabbed and everything else, and he flinched all the time. But apparently, 4 shots, and I can still cut off Misty Arm's arms. Huh?
He's the index finger. He's a little more important.
Fuck off.
That makes Sigourney Weaver the pinky.
No, Sigourney Weaver's supposed to be the index finger or the thumb.
No, she's the thumb.
She's supposed to be the
if you cut off the thumb, shit gets real. Like.
And the second thing I like how Madame Gao said, like, you killed her, but we're the hand. We have political things. She's done all this to make the hand great. Are you going to do that? It's like, I don't need to do that. It's like, we're the hand. It's political. And if we don't get good with these people, we can't do what we do. Can you get on the...
Also, I have a question because, again, the rules were vaguely defined, folks.
Go ahead.
So, I have a question. They got more black goo. Well, we won't call it oil. We'll call it black goo.
The substance.
Whatever.
Like the incident.
Dragon lactation.
Dragon shit.
And they get that, and they take it. If you cut a fool's head off, can you throw him back in the gunk?
No, they established that as soon as the head is off, that's it. Because Steve kept saying, like...
The only thing they established...
No, they did not establish that.
No, they said they used the last of the substance, air quotes, and that when Stick killed a black guy, that means permadeath is really a thing. But then they got more substance. So they thought permadeath was a thing because they didn't have any substance. Now that they got more, it's not a thing. So can't they just shove her head and her body in a sarcophagus?
Nah, see, that's when it doesn't make sense. Because in Daredevil season 2, like when Stick killed Nobu. I'm thinking Nobu is Hero Academia. He said as he did, that's the only way to take those guys out is to cut off their heads. Same thing with the Meacham guy.
I don't remember that.
That's what he said. It's like,
but then again, I didn't like Daredevil season 2.
That's how he killed Nomu. He said he stabbed him in the heart and then he cut his head off. Same thing with Meacham's the Meacham father.
Oh, well,
shut up. I know you didn't watch Iron Fist, but like anything, they put something like the way to kill this guy is to cut his head off. That's all you need to do. It's like, okay, cut the head off.
I just want to point out the show about Chinese kung fu, and it was two white guys fighting each other. That's all I'm gonna say.
How did? Okay, this is more. This is a little bit more martial arts background. I don't understand exactly how the hell did Elektra cut off somebody's head with sais. Sais aren't sharpened.
Did she use the sais?
Yes, she did.
She used the sai, I believe.
She used it to stop.
She was wielding wakizashis the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to go back and watch it. And
she initially stabbed her with the wakizashi, and then she cut her head off.
Sure she didn't pull it out and then just...
I might be wrong, but I could have sworn
she was eyeballing the sides.
Which was fucking weird.
It's like, I remember.
Making no hungry eyes.
Hungry eyes.
She was making bedroom eyes at the sides.
She's not like, I remember.
I remember putting this up Matt's butt.
Is she using those for combat or something else?
You nasty.
I just said that. Put it up Matt's butt. It's like, I remember that one night Matt.
Maybe that's why the next hand into a rabbit couldn't grip the handle.
I'm sorry, I missed the entire thing. What? I was imagining a sigh in Daredevil's butt. What were you saying?
In Daredevil's butt?
Yeah.
Well, the comics do really want you to focus on his ass.
Yeah, because he wears skin tight.
Show it.
Skin tight.
He's always squatting.
You see,
they're always showing you the back version of him squatting. I'm like, wait. So it's not okay for gay people to be in the universe, but you want him to squat on my face? Like, I'm confused. What's going on?
Here's another thing. let's talk about. We've been talking about everything compared. Let's talk about the 4 seeds for the next seasons.
4 seeds.
They at the end of Defenders, they left a seed for each season. You know, ooh, come watch it because of this. Opinions on what each of those lead to.
First off, I love a meme that I saw online.
Go ahead and first of all, let's go ahead and cover what those
leads are. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay,
we haven't talked about
the
that.
biggest one to me was the Daredevil one because I know what I'm almost certain what it's leading to. At the end, you're supposed to know. Spoilers, folks.
This entire podcast is spoilers. So
I'm just saying spoilers because I'm rolling my eyes because nobody thought Daredevil was dead. I don't know what the writers were thinking, trying to make you think Daredevil
essentially, when they blew up the building, it was supposed to kill Daredevil and Elektra. Daredevil survived.
When you got to Daredevil's little wrap up or seed for the next season, he's wrapped up, bandaged up in a convent with a nun by his side and a rosary. Now I know what
no sense.
I don't even know how they're going to make him get in there, but I'm 90% certain. Don't even
that
Elektra and magic and the substance.
No, Elektra and his belief in God.
Well, that's a thing, but I'll be right. I'll get back to that.
It's Daredevil. Belief in God.
He's Catholic.
It's a thing. Yeah, he is Catholic.
He's not Catholic. He's Catholic.
He's Catholic. He's. Swear to me.
There's a lot of guilt in that man for no fucking reason.
It's because he's a Catholic.
He's so fucking angsty.
For the people who aren't getting my references, maybe some of our younger audience people, watch Dogma because Dogma summarizes Catholicism in the most perfect way possible.
You don't celebrate your faith, you mourn it. But continue with your seed.
No, that's the seed. Now, do we want to discuss all of them, or do you want me to discuss where I think that's going? Okay. Now, I missed Jessica because it's
she opened up her shop.
Okay, she reopened up the Alias, and Trish had something going on with Karen. But when Karen's on the screen, I check out and take a nap. Then they went to Iron Fist, where they do the red. The red building, and I believe Daredevil's theme was playing too.
Not only was he on the roof like Daredevil, the building was red,
and then all of a sudden, theme was playing too.
I don't know. I was too upset. And while
his color palette was there,
you can't see who you can't see who it is until his fist lights up for no reason. Right. Apparently, he can light it up for this one time.
It's to make him look epic in the glow of his own power.
Oh, that is the worst. Continue. And what was Luke Cage's?
Luke. Now that I brought it up, I completely.
I don't think Luke even really got anything. But besides his rapper with like, "Hey Jessica, how you doing?"
I think Luke got the "I'm gonna check you out, honey."
That shit was the creepiest. Okay, I realize I'm gay, but this was nothing.
I'm glad you realized that.
And there was nothing but this straight fest, and no offense is intended by that, but there was literally no gay people. It was all straight people, and all straight people problems.
Jaren Hogarth was there.
For 3 seconds.
The shadow of her.
3 seconds. And if you had not seen Jessica Jones and paid attention, you would not know she was gay.
That's because...
Not to mention, apparently all gay people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are awful people. There's a total of 2. One is a guy who raped a guy in prison, and the other one, no, literally, it's in a short film.
That's the thing.
It's in a short film when they that takes place after Iron Man. I forget, Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3. And it shows what happens in the prison with the guy who was trying to...
The Mandarin.
Okay. And so it's creepy, and that's insulting. And then you get Hogarth, which is a bitch. She's a bitch. And so I'm like, great, gay people are not positive people, and straight people are these awesome people.
Not really.
I mean, paying attention, there are some asshole gay people out there.
Oh, yeah, but straight people.
There's plenty of assholes of theirs, too.
I'm waiting for Marvel to show them to me.
Most of the villains. All of the villains.
And all the heroes.
And all the heroes.
Yeah, so they're great people and they're shitty people.
Exactly. And all the gay people are shitty. You can't prove that they're good people because Marvel has not shown us anyone that I or any gay youth can look up to. But anyway, in Netflix, I thought would have some backbone, but apparently no. So, whatever. And then you go into this and you're looking at all these problems developing, and then Luke Cage, who is dating Claire or fucking Claire or whatever he is to Claire, is
with Claire,
is also fucking checking out Jessica, and I'm like, don't you already have someone?
Well, we were all thinking that. Okay, it's like, dude, why are you?
Let me share this real quick. I wouldn't have minded if he'd been checking out Jessica all the time. The thing that was killing me was the fact that they kept focusing on him and Claire's relationship when I know it's not going to happen. It's not supposed to happen.
Not everybody who hasn't read the comics knows that, though.
But nobody gives a shit. Why would we give a shit? Can someone
Because Rosario Dawson.
Is a good
I like
actress.
Rosario Dawson.
But yeah.
That's fine. Have her go fuck Doctor Strange. Because one of them does. I don't know which. They don't even name the night nurses. She's just night nurse.
No, there's two.
They don't name them.
They
though.
do.
Do they name them?
Yeah, but Claire isn't one of them.
And
Claire actually isn't a night nurse.
I will also say that's kind of weird that for some reason, it's like if you've read the comic books and you know who, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are to each other, you know that that's an interracial marriage.
They're going to have them a nice interracial baby.
That's really progressive. And then Netflix, aka Marvel, also turns around and turns something that could be progressive
Disney
into, hey, one of these things is not like the other. Colored people must be with colored people. I'm sorry, white people you can't interbreed. Colored people you can't interbreed. Keep to your sides.
And I'm not one. I'm not disparaging anyone who has this type of way of life, but is it just me or does Claire get around? Claire's pretty much fucked almost all of the
The only
Defenders.
person Claire didn't fuck was Iron Fist, and that was because he was too busy
And
being
Jessica
celibate
Jones.
and not being celibate. Well, you right
Well,
about
she's
that.
not gay.
Yeah.
She's a good person.
But she fucks it.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
She was so ready to jump on his bones. The only reason why she didn't jump on Danny's bones was because Colleen was there. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to touch that.
I'm going to be the only person who noticed
Well,
this.
also, no offense, Claire thinks Danny is a dumbass.
Because Danny is a dumbass
There
in
you
the
go.
Netflix
I'm going
show.
to be the only one who noticed this,
Mhm.
but we point out continuity issues, so I'm going to point it out anyway. Jessica Jones, when her and Luke fuck, the room falls apart. Like, falls apart, but we all
Because
saw
he
that.
goes all out.
Okay, we see Claire and him fuck, and somehow the table's in one piece.
But he didn't go all out.
Then he should be making all
I don't
the
know.
noise.
That seemed like that man was going all out for being in jail for like 2 years. He was in that ass. I'm sorry. He was in it. But apparently
And
Claire has the greatest vagina ever that it can just take all that.
All of it.
First of all, it was on a wood floor. Go back and check. It's a wood table. They slide on wood floors. I hate to break it to you.
Mhm.
Second of all, he's fucking her on top of the he's fucking her on top of the table. It's going to slide. Second of all, he couldn't have been going all out because the table would have been broken.
She would have been broken.
No, even if she had the greatest, strongest pussy ever, the table would have been fucking broken. It was just laid over on the side, which lets me know he wasn't going all out.
So that means there wasn't good sex then.
And I don't fucking know what the hell. Talking about 2 years in prison and he's waiting on. I don't even know. So he going all out. If anything, he wouldn't last very
don't.
long.
Like,
to break it to you guys,
Rosario
you've
Dawson's
gone
a
too long
great-
without pussy or ass, whatever your preference. You don't last very long.
Rosario Dawson, you are a great actress. I think Claire Temple as a night nurse is a great idea, but she does not need to be there all the damn time. She is the night nurse. She's not the night battle nurse. She does not need to be there when everyone's fighting because
No.
she's useless
The thing
there.
was, they tried to use all of the side characters, and the way they did it, was very ineffectual.
I feel
We
like
didn't-
John Berthenthal would have been better setting that charges, and that would have been a nice nod for the new series they got coming out.
What about?
The Punisher.
Okay.
So actually, the place Punisher. Why not have Frank Castle show up and go, "We got to blow some shit up"?
Well,
Fuck yeah,
I
I'll
have
blow
my-
some shit
Okay,
up.
hold up. If the Punisher showed up, this fight would be over way quicker.
And I have my own problems with their Punisher, but
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer yet.
no, it's not even the trailer. It's Daredevil season
Okay.
2. Not only was that trial a complete farce and
Oh,
didn't
that-
need to
yeah.
be in the series as a whole, on top of that, he already lost points with me because he tried to kill a veteran.
Yeah.
Literally, when he was threatening Daredevil, he goes, if you make any noise, I'm gonna shoot this dude. He finds out the dude's a vet himself, and they're both veterans. And I'm like, Daredevil, okay.
Well,
You have to
Punisher
understand
wins.
that Punisher has a strict code of laws that he himself follows, okay?
Mhm.
Killing innocent people is not one of them. Killing veterans, you can damn show believe, is not one of them.
Now, what are
And
their evil veterans, though?
He was an old man who was going up to check out what's going on the roof because he heard people hitting each other.
He may have just been threatened.
Oh, no,
He may have
Look,
just been threatened.
you and the rest of the people who try to justify this bullshit can fuck off.
I don't remember because season 2 of Daredevil wasn't my favorite. So
By the
Yeah,
way,
just-
that guy was the guy who organized this nightmare.
and
Yeah, the director.
Yeah.
But I mean, their Punisher has. I've got my own issues with him because although Punisher's not my favorite hero, you have to adhere to who they are.
there's at least one person here who
Well,
loves Punisher,
to me,
and they will
I mean,
never ever get on the mic.
I mean, again, with Punisher, I'm not a big fan either, but Eladrius is
I don't-
absolutely right.
I don't hate him. I just think that if you're going, I mean, it's like having Batman there and being all like, oh, Batman kills Robin, like physically kills him himself because they had a disagreement, and I'm just like
Or
that.
Matt Murdock's dad didn't die. He just got roughed up that one time.
Matt Murdock's not blind.
No, he just
He can see perfectly.
I mean, he technically can see.
no, it's
Different.
He sees a world of fire.
It's not sight, it's process.
Also,
It's a world of fire.
I will say that
I'm gonna need you to stop
apparently-
that because that was
World of fire.
That was
I will say that I guess by Marvel's definition, all blind people are superheroes.
right. That's a point.
He went
No,
blind, so his other senses.
We
heightened.
haven't
I'm
seen
like,
one
that's-
blind person who doesn't know kung fu.
And I'm like, it's
Except for those drug guys who
No,
were.
they knew kung fu.
They did not because they didn't fight. They ran.
no.
They
weren't-
stumbled
but
away.
They weren't trained.
That's wrong.
That's the thing. Stick trained him, and he was like, "Yeah, because you're a blind person." Literally in season 1, because you're a blind person, your senses are heightened. So go ahead, sniff the air and tell me what flavor of ice cream that man 20 miles away is eating. And he sniffs, and he goes like that.
Okay,
Like,
how
bullshit.
powerful is this sonar? Because, like, okay, if I remember correctly, they're downstairs. They're at a couple of 100 stories below. But
Well,
apparently Daredevil can hear
well,
the bomb
first
go,
of
hey,
all-
we need to get the fuck out of here.
Well, first of all, it's not in the comics. It's not sonar. It's
It's what? It's what? Please explain. Is it infrared?
It's a heightened like combination of senses.
It's that screech thing that bats do.
Which is sonar.
Yeah.
That's how Netflix explained it, but it's not how.
And that's how the
So, by the
movie
way,
explained it too. Sonar.
Would it be
And it's
interesting
wrong,
because
although that
me,
looked cool, but it's no
I
wrong.
saw a documentary. Well, not documentary. It was like a really cool how the human brain works. And this guy who was blind since he was fucking like 4 years old taught himself to
To click. Yeah.
click at different surfaces, and it would rebound, and he could hear where his objects were.
Mhm.
I'm like, that would have been cool if Daredevil could do that. But they, no.
He just goes, he just, I love this.
I just gotta.
He just dirt faces when he. I love it when he has the mask on, but whenever he takes the glasses,
It's the Flash. It's like,
when
is that a
he
tick?
takes the glasses
Do you have
off,
Tourette's?
it's just dirt face like.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Grant Gustafson. I got to bring this up. Your bobblehead, which I didn't notice till Honest Trailers pointed it out, but now I can't not
It's a
see.
tick. He's got Tourette's.
No, it's the speed. It's the speed force, like everything else. It builds up in his brain. And he has to.
Oh my
release
god,
it.
that makes it look like he's a bird.
He's like, Electra, what are you? I love you.
And I'm
This
like-
is not you.
And I got
Still
so,
better than Ben Affleck's blind dirt face, though.
True.
I
I'll give
got
you that.
so annoyed too, and he's like, "Okay, we gotta leave. You guys leave without me. I know what I'm doing." And I'm like, and then Jessica goes, "We're not leaving without you." I'm like, "What the fuck? Who is this?" And I'm like, "You should have grabbed him, thrown his ass back into the elevator, and walked on."
What they should have did, which we've shown can be
Where's the
done,
character?
is just, hey, one person with super strength grab her, the other person with super strength knock her out. Because no, she's not superhuman to where she can't take a hit. So just
She's
go,
not.
oh,
No. She's not superhuman. Period. Don't
It-
say it to our audience.
as
like,
Brackle she is superhuman.
as bullshit.
Yes, Brackle Sky is superhuman, but she's still human. So you can still go, oh, do what
Is she
Luke
though?
Cage did no previously. Knock somebody out, chop in the face. Out.
Or fucking Jessica Jones. I'm sorry about this. And he's
I
out.
was so happy when she knocked the fuck out of Danny. Like, dude.
Well, no, and that pissed me off.
Ugh.
That was one of the moments they got her character completely right. Everyone was fighting on him except for her. She was saying that because, like, what the fuck is this, a dick measuring contest? And then she goes, okay, that's enough, back off. And then Danny hits her, and she turns around, she goes, oh, hell no, and punches him, and he goes flying, and then she goes, I'm done with you. I'm sorry about this, but I'm a bam. And he just goes out. And I'm like, that's Jessica. Jessica doesn't put up with bullshit. We've known this.
As we said in the pre-recording, I think we said it earlier too. Jessica is the audience
Yes.
in this show,
Jessica
and that's
is
probably
the
why
voice of
people
the
love her
audience.
so much in this show. She said she calls out all the bullshit that they're doing.
I mean, she even mentions like one of my favorite lines. They're all doing kung fu except for Jessica. They purposely, I think, because the actress isn't good at that, they have her out of most of those scenes, like where she's just kind of watching the action, and which makes her look really awkward instead of they
right.
have her actually fighting the way she fights, and have all the stuntmen work with that. That's all I'm saying. But at one point, she's just kind of standing out, and she's like, "Am I the only person in New York that doesn't know kung fu?"
The answer is yes.
And I'm like, apparently, because they had the big black man fighting like that. I'm like, wait, that's not how he fights either.
Like, why would Luke Cage block anything from somebody who's not superhuman?
You know, I don't know. Why wouldn't he box? He learned to box. We established that in season.
it's more brawling now. It's a boxing.
He didn't do that either, though.
It's a boxing. Well, here's the thing: when you're invulnerable, what do you need style for?
Well, the only thing is, like, I can sit there and think is like, okay, when he's fighting Madame Gal, a bitch who can push you with her hand, maybe go like this is not unheard of.
Mhm.
I'm just saying. Feeling a little bit more defensive because when she hits you, you cough up blood.
I hated that thing from Stick. Stick when they were explaining the hand to Luke Cage wasn't tripping. It's like, I'm Supreme, I don't give a care. And Stick was like, they'll slow your heart down before you even get to him. It's like, okay, that's through pressure points. But we already established that you can't get through him through his skin. They literally cannot stop Luke Cage. But Sawande, when he's fighting against Luke Cage, all of a sudden he's knocking him like 2 feet. Bakudo doing it, and before Madame Gao even shotgun palmed him, Murakami was all knocking him back. How?
Again, it comes back to the scene I mentioned. When Elektra takes out all of our heroes at once to get Danny and kill Stick. The only way, the way that scene played out, she could have knocked someone out with through concussive force. Did she punch him in his eyeball?
Now, did she actually take out Luke Cage? I thought he got knocked out by the gas.
He was weakened.
He was weakened.
Okay,
but his skin doesn't get weaker through concentration.
Unless she can punch harder than a shotgun, it shouldn't have worked.
And see, that would be my argument for all of the hand. Is that the fact that they can exert the same kind of pressure that a shotgun can when they hit you. And that would have made them scarier. Because to be honest, they all know how to use chi. That would have been interesting.
Apparently not.
No, like
only Gao does.
If they could have, it would. Again, it's all about making your villain scary. When you make a superhero show, there are 2 things you can't fuck up. Just 2. Story can be okay. People can forget that. Avengers. You need to have a good hero, someone who looks impressive, acts impressive,
and you can look up to. And
you need to have a bad villain, scary, got powers, reasons for being scary. Defenders just don't deliver. It don't deliver. We got this hero group that didn't have, they had a Chinese restaurant scene where they all talk over food and they argue. And it's kind of like that scene when Foggy finds out that Matt Murdock is Daredevil and it lasts a whole in-world day. And it's just like, it just keeps going and nothing gets done. And it's like, why is this scene happening? This is awful. And that's what happens. They just keep talking and nothing gets done. And I'm like, why aren't you meshing?
Okay, we have spent a whole hour shitting on this thing. Let's think of a few good things. I just want to just a few good things, then we'll go back to the shit. Let's make a shit sandwich. Okay, we started off with bad. Let's get a couple of good things, and we end up with some more shit. Go ahead.
Well, I will say the combat was a step up from Iron Fist and a step back from the other 2.
That is not a great bar.
I know, but you
I
wanted me to compliment.
Yeah.
It was more of the same flashy fighting that we saw from Daredevil, which a lot of people like. Mm-hmm. And Danny, the actor, they didn't have to slow as many punches as they did in the first season of Iron Fist. Again, it would be more effective if they had a stunt double, but whatever.
I'm telling you, I think it's Finn Jones. I think Finn just says, I want to do the stunts. I think that's what's going on.
Probably.
It could be.
That, or they just didn't want to give him the funky costume.
I love the way they bookended.
Even a fucking, like, his over the head bandana mask would have been
okay. There's 2 costumes. The first one I can understand is completely wonky. That's the one with the large collar. I'm fine.
That's the one that I found weird.
Do the other one.
Large collar.
I do too. I love it. But if you don't,
that's only because you 2 are really weird and like the Doctor Strange man cape. I'm just.
Your cape is awesome. What's wrong with you?
So I can wipe away your little man tears.
Look,
I'm done.
You leave the cloak of levitation alone, okay?
Oh my god!
You leave it alone.
I forgot its name.
It doesn't.
I'm so sorry.
You respect.
You will respect it.
Oh my god!
That was
and the boots of whatever the fuck.
The vaulting boots of Valtor.
Oh
sir.
my god!
or the club of the Eternal Tribune.
No, it's the staff of the Living Tribunal.
The Living Tribunal.
And the wand of Watum.
Okay, that's too far.
Not to mention the
do you hear that in the background? That's the nerd alert coming for you.
Look, hold up.
I know all of those. I do.
I can't believe you know all of those.
I do.
I'm actually, and you know what?
That's really bad.
I'm shitting on you.
Nerd alert
that is still fucking impressive. I will give you that is impressive. I did not know.
I'm pretty impressed as much as I give you shit that you memorized the original Infinity Stone colors.
Huh?
You memorized the original Infinity Stone colors.
You mean the only colors?
No, it's changed.
You mean the right colors?
It's changed twice in the comics.
You mean the right colors?
You can't say that.
Do you mean the right colors? Do you mean the right colors?
I mean, this is what I mean. Loki has a blue one.
So that's
Vision has a yellow one.
No, that's the same stone.
So
it's the same stone.
So he has a blue
From
stone.
the staff, yeah.
No, the one on Tesseract is blue.
No, that's a different stone. You're right.
Yeah, see.
So the blue one. So the mind gem.
The red one is goop. The red one is not a gem.
So wait, the blue one. You said the blue one. So you mean the mind gem, right?
No, it's the one in Tesseract.
It's the space gem.
Space gem is purple.
Not in the cinematic universe. The power gem is purple.
You mean the right colors?
And apparently, like, what is the blue guy? A Kree?
Yes.
And he can just wield the fucking stone without dying?
He's a
Yeah,
Kree.
Ronan's a Kree. He's the accuser.
No, because the green people are Skrull.
I was like, yeah.
Because of Hulkling.
He couldn't wield it by him. He couldn't hold it.
Bae.
He couldn't hold it, so he used the hammer as a conduit.
No,
That's the only.
That did it.
That's the only excuse I'll give it for Ronan to be able to wield it because he used the staff as a conduit. Because you saw when he had it in his hand,
he grabbed it.
He grabbed it. He couldn't hold it. He was struggling with it. It's like, oh shit, staff. Okay, better. I can deal with this.
I just want to know.
I think he used it as a conduit.
know how he had a hammer handy that could channel Infinity Stone.
Alien magic shit.
No. It's been about 10 movies. We still haven't seen that guy. Nice try though. Eladri's husband just bought up Thanos. That guy.
We've seen him like
that
3
guy
times.
that sat in his chair that one time. Then he turned around in his chair that one time. Then he yelled at that guy from his chair from one time. And then finally he stood up from his chair and got his glove. And then the superheroes fought each other. But Infinity War, guys. Infinity War. Right?
I love your synopsis.
That's
I live for this.
That's what happened. If you've been under a fucking rock and decided to look up comic books today,
let's get back to the
summarize all the after-scene credits.
Let's
No one will listen to my.
A special shout out to Popo Misty. Misty Knight.
She
was
tried
the true
so hard.
villain. Or no, you were the true victim. I'm so sorry.
I wish I could have given you a hand.
Or an elbow.
I mean, but now she's so much more whole now. She's so much more whole now, don't you think?
God, she looked like they were like she's gonna bleed out. I was like, bitch. And then the cops like freeze. And
honestly speaking, don't get me wrong. I know Missy's a strong person,
strong, independent black woman.
I understand that, but
don't need no mans.
Don't need no mans or no hands. But here's the thing. Unless she was high on morphine, there's no way somebody go like, I ain't got no arm.
But Danny,
I'm gonna make a joke.
No. But Danny owns the hospital.
No, Danny has connections, and he goes connections. He owns the hospital.
But Danny owns the hospital, so it's all good.
Also, okay.
I'm sorry, audience, if you can hear me breathe into the microphone. But it's just anger breathing.
Okay. There's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
At first, you get your arm chopped off, right?
You're right.
And your first reaction would be fight or flight at that point, which hers was obviously flight at that point.
Yes.
And then the second that she looks down, as the cops tell her to freeze, and she looks down and realizes she no longer has an arm, and then the pain comes back, she enters shock. You can die from shock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just all of these things, again, on top of the fact that the building is collapsing and that nobody dies.
It's probably the future Chi baby.
It's just,
we're not talking about that until we get to my goddamn special.
There's just so much wrong with this show, and I'm like, there's so many plot holes that I just can't.
But can we all agree? Still better than Iron Fist.
Yes, no, that's not. I keep telling you that is not a high bar to set it
but
to.
What I'm trying to make my point is, if anyone just ran across this, and it hadn't gotten to Iron Fist yet,
this is a better.
You could skip Iron Fist.
As Eladria said, this is actually a better introduction to Iron Fist than the Iron Fist show.
Me and you said the biggest weakness to Defenders, honestly, is the Iron Fist series. If they'd have skipped the Iron Fist series and went straight into this, I feel like people would have received it better.
If they were going to keep Finn as doing his own stunts. Like me and my husband talked about, it makes sense if at that point in the story he was not yet the immortal Iron Fist and he was in training. It wouldn't have worked for his character story, but it would work for the reason he can't fight worth a damn. And then he becomes the Iron Fist. After this point, you've established that he came from Kunlun. He should be able to fight.
His chi has erectile dysfunction.
It really does. And as I said, that fist keeps doing all type of weird different shit. First, it punches Elektra in the tunnel. That's who he fought, and it hit her, and she didn't explode. Fine, but then we hit Luke Cage in the face, and he gets launched. And this man is heavy and indestructible.
He needs to call a doctor because it's been past 4 hours. And
then he punches at the Defenders, and they all go flying. Even those behind him, even he gets shot back from his own goddamn fist. But apparently, it's the Iron Fist.
Through and the knockback now.
Then at the end, he shoots it again, and no one behind him gets hurt. He just shoots it forward. So apparently, as I said in a message to you guys, because we talk to each other all through our phones, that fist is as finicky as a flintlock pistol at sea. It makes no sense. It is so unreliable. It'll do anything it wants to do. It is a bad weapon.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is supposed to be a shit sandwich, so let's go for something good.
The cinema, like I said, that book ended the cinematography really well. The beginning of the series had great cinematography that respected each show.
I would disagree
and the end.
I would disagree with you on one thing. Like I did like the transition between each part was really good, but there was a main problem I had, and this comes from my film background. They Dutch angled every single shot.
Well, it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. That's why you
But
do it.
it's when they're just talking. It's just when they're
no. Uncomfortable
no.
with the whole show.
Thank you. Like it's Colleen and Claire talking in the
trust
thing.
me, I'm always uncomfortable when Colleen.
That's the director.
Yeah,
it's a shit thing to do. Sorry,
it's still bad.
So,
but they got the colors right.
Yeah, the color transition was good.
He remained faithful to the colors. He remained faithful to their background soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
He remained faithful to their interactions with their own side characters, and the fact that we can honestly say that before that, the way he got each of them involved was not a leap of faith.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was actually pretty good.
The hand had nothing to do with Jessica Jones or Luke Cage, but he somehow was able to make them get involved in it by that 15-year-old kid that Luke was trying to help that ended up getting involved.
What was that tag for? Was it a check or something like that? Like, what is Midland Circle? What was the company? Because, like, we had the money, but then he had, like, a pay stub from Midland Circle on there. And I'm trying to figure,
they don't ever discuss what did it.
Okay, so...
My only nitpick with what you said was the metagaming that Colleen Wing, and as an RPer, that Colleen Wing and Iron Fist did in that first scene. The guy says, go back to New York. Maybe we should go find a team.
Maybe we need a team, and then later on say, "I have a team." It's like, no, we don't need these people.
We don't need a team.
She was one of the most bipolar bitches.
So, someone looked at the DM's notes and said, "Oh wait, the party members are going to team up at the tavern."
Well, the thing was talking about the fact that how each of the heroes were brought in to fight the hand.
Yeah.
And with Iron Fist, you didn't have to do that. With Daredevil, we already knew that he
fought the hand.
He fought the hand, so there was no reason to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, today is Tuesday, and this is why you're fighting the hand." With Jessica Jones, it was following an architect who created the building that was the center of what the hand had in New York. It was their money laundering worldwide.
The elbow, if you will.
Yes. And then with Luke Cage, it was helping that one woman and her last son, trying to get him out of trouble so that he could help them. He failed to do that, and Jessica Jones failed to do what she was supposed to do, but they both got they found that the hand was a bigger threat. So that was a positive moment. I honestly I'm struggling here.
I'm struggling.
I'm gonna be honest here. I feel like even if you just take the content of these 8 episodes, if you'd have made it into a movie, I think there are enough positive moments for a solid movie.
It'd probably give a B- for me.
I'm not talking about like a great movie.
I feel like 8 episodes.
It would be underneath Green Lantern for me.
Yeah.
It'll be underneath Green Lantern for me. No, it'll be just above Green Lantern.
Really? Okay, I was about to say that because I put that pretty low. Yeah.
I'm backwards. I'll give you that.
The 8 episodes stretched what they could possibly do.
I agree.
I will say one thing, aside from the fact that the villain was too nebulous, what really hurt this series, like in my opinion, was the endless exposition. You kept trying to explain why the villains were villains multiple times through multiple characters, through multiple interactions. It just kept going, and it became more and more complex and more convoluted. It did not need to be that bad. That's why I probably wouldn't have chosen the hand to be the villain. I'm sorry, I would have chosen something else.
Because they're not accessible. Because you can tell with all this exposition, they're trying to make it accessible to non-comic book fans. And the hand, to me, is just like Hydra. They aren't a villain that everyone knows. Everyone knows Hydra now because of the Avengers movies.
It's kind of like Nazis. It gets to the point where you can just say, hey, these are Nazis. Why are they beating the shit out of them? Nazis! They can say evil, murdering, psychopathic ninjas. And then you go, why are they murdering them? Evil, murdering, psychopathic ninjas. You don't need to know anymore. So as villains go, they maybe should have brought back some callbacks to all the other series. Had people doing dealings with, like, Kilgrave set up things before he died with somebody else. Or Kingpin was doing something else. Or some shit that links each one of these people back to a central villain in the form of Sigourney Weaver.
Okay, I just want to
part about that is he's worked with the hand. Wilson Fisk.
Well, what I'm saying
worked
is,
with the hand.
If you weren't going to use the hand as since they went quiet after what happened at Kunlun or whatever the fuck is going on with the Iron Fist, he follows them back through their connections to other villains. This other villain being Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, we can hear that.
He's telling you we can hear it on the recording, so you need to be careful with you grabbing at this point. Yeah, or grab a handful now.
Yeah, just grab all you want now.
Yeah, go ahead and grab a handful because it's already in.
Do we need to stop the recording for you?
Yeah, are you good?
Is this Bob?
We certainly don't want to inconvenience you in my spare room.
Don't you have
Nothing
a
to say? Nothing to
Yeah.
defend you? Are you not going to defend yourself?
Like, don't you have a house you could eat like
Aren't
that
you
in?
going to get your husband to at least defend you?
Oh, that ain't gonna happen. We'll be waiting here all night.
I didn't think so.
You sure you don't need any more sour punches? You sure? Thank you.
Just get it all out. Just get it all out. And we keeping this in the podcast.
Oh yeah.
But, oh, shit. But
I'm sad to know you still alive from your husband. Still alive from your husband.
yes, that is one of my favorite lines. But like I said, it's just there were so many issues with this series.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So your good point was the cinematography, or was that yours?
No,
that was yours.
Cinematography
And
you know,
the
music
way
choices.
they included other people.
Mm-hmm.
I have an honest good point with no negatives.
Mm.
I think there's enough positive here that a Defenders 2 could be done if they take constructive criticism here and they fix Iron Fist. I believe there's enough positive here to make a Defenders Season 2 if they fix Iron Fist and take criticism. That is my honest opinion.
I see. It was my idea to do something good, but I'm having a really hard time finding something. Hell, I can't. Give me a second.
Most
I don't
of
know.
the good points
I mean,
just have these little even the
and
good
you have,
specs.
I mean, and like I said, for me, as somebody who hadn't read all their comics, I mean, I didn't even know. Like, I knew that Luke Cage's power suit, the thing he walked out of his like yellow shirt and his cuffs and his tiara. I only knew that was his old outfit because you told me.
Mhm.
I only knew that Jessica Jones, her jewel outfit, which I had no idea was what she was called originally, was because you told me.
That was the best.
That was funny as shit.
I
Like,
had
I'm not
no
wearing
idea.
this.
Patsy Walker Hellcat. No one else has mentioned that yet.
And
Trisha.
I had no.
Well, they called it
idea.
Hellcat. The next
Did they
episode,
call
he
it
said, you know,
Hellcat?
the Hellcat or something like that. I could be wrong.
I had no idea this was my first introduction to these characters. So I went in without the whole nostalgia feeling, without this is what I know about these characters. And Defenders, just as a whole, to be honest, did not appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I honestly am lucky it was 8 episodes long, because after 8, I would have stopped watching. I got really bogged down after episode 3 because everything kept talking about the plot and the plot and the plot. And I'm like, if your plot is this bad that you have to keep explaining it to me over and over again so I know why the villains are still the villains. I mean, it was hard for me to find character. What was Elektra? I don't even know what Elektra's character motivation was. She's the Black Sky. She's the Black Sky. She turns on the hand because of reasons. She wants to kill Daredevil because of reasons. I'm like,
you're not saying her name right.
Cockholster?
No.
Brackle Sky.
Okay, that's on y'all.
Brackle Sky.
But I just...
Delaware Smash.
It was just really boring. It's like, I could not help but ask myself the entire time the series was going on and they kept showing Elektra. Why Elektra? Why this? Why her? She is the most boring character and you could have made her interesting. They failed to do it in season 2 and they failed to do it here.
I think they could have made it more interesting if they actually got her accent right. Because she went from French to Spanish to Italian to British. She went everywhere
and the thing is,
in one scene.
Elektra's nationality is well known. She's Greek.
Yes, it's nachos.
Not nachos, by the way. At one point, it sounds like the bitch says nachos. Her name is, she's not a dish.
Okay. Excuse me.
No, you're right. I'm saying the actress at one point, I swear to you, it sounds like she says her name is Elektra Nachos, and she's not a dish at a Marvel-themed cafe.
Like I said, and I had an issue with the fact that the villains were just not scary.
No.
Killgrave, I thought at any time Jessica could die. And then when she was all the way up until that moment where she shot him, I thought he had won. I really did. I thought he had won. And then it's like, no, she shot him. And I was like, holy shit.
Well, let me put it this way. Killgrave, and hats off to David Tennant, was the kind of villain that even the stuff we didn't see him do scared the fuck out of me. And I'll give an example. When he told the guy to put his head through the post and you just saw him slowly hitting it, I pictured the entire thing that would fall out after that.
And then also on top of that, I mean, if I'm going back, Cottonmouth from Luke Cage, when that dude, he's sitting there like, slapping that dude, and then that dude spits on him. He goes, good, now I can hit you like a man. And he keeps going, I'm like, this is a normal guy, and that scares the fuck out of me. Like, that there are people who think that is an appropriate thing to do to another human being.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, my favorite scene from Cottonmouth was the whole point when we found out, oh yeah, we took care of Luke Cage, we shot up Pop's diner. It's like, you did what? Mm-hmm. You shot Pops? Okay. Come on the roof.
And he pushed...
You did what?
My favorite is the dude. My favorite is the dude who wouldn't shut the fuck up about his money. You and your buddy.
I said, man, I ain't around, man. I'm done. And he was in Defenders. So I love it. I was like, this dude is everywhere.
That guy's been in all of them. Guy's been in all of them.
He's a Claire. He's the female version. He's the male version of Claire. It's like,
and that like another thing that I liked about Luke Cage, it was that the scene where Cottonmouth dies because Mariah kills him, and I'm like, even that was visceral. And I'm like, these are who your villains are. They're villains. They're not this obligatory evil-minded person that just kind of sits in the room and laughs to themselves. Also,
you guys, I know at least one of you disagrees with this, but Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin falls into that for me. The Good Samaritan speech, like that.
No, it goes back to his point. Villains, especially with Daredevil and Defenders now, and even with Iron Fist, they love to monologue. They don't actually throw any weight behind the words. They just monologue. Wilson Fisk fails to, in my opinion. He beats the shit out of Daredevil once, and then somehow he gets captured by Daredevil, and he's fighting. I'm like, okay, if you're like me and you saw the old Spider-Man cartoons back in the 90s, Wilson Fisk was strong enough to put a grown man through a brick wall by himself. And not standing next to the wall, standing across the room, throwing you through the wall. This man may be human, but he has some ultra strength to him. And we don't see that. He punches Daredevil once. Daredevil rocks back from it, which from all the dodging and shit, I don't know how he got hit. But Wilson Fisk should have been grabbing him and throwing him through things and beating the shit out of him. And he should not have been able to take Wilson. Especially since Wilson Fisk does not fight.
Now that was a complaint I had, but I liked their Wilson Fisk personally.
He wasn't awful.
Wilson Fisk, no, when he doesn't initially fight, he sends everybody else to do it for him. But when it comes down to it, he got hands, and he essentially, even in the comics and in the old Spider-Man TV show, he is able to pretty much hold it down against Spider-Man, who has strength comparable to a spider.
Like I said, that's what I'm saying.
So I completely understand on that one, and pretty much even the final fight between in Daredevil between Fisk and Daredevil, it was a one-sided thing. There was no way Fisk was going to win anything. The only reason why he won the first time was because Nobu stabbed him in the stomach and Harikiri'd him almost.
To me, that was the weakest point, but I enjoyed him as a villain. I know it was...
I enjoy...
I liked him.
As Fisk, he was scary.
Like I said, I liked him as a villain. The problem being is that he falls into Sigourney Weaver, Madame Gao, Bakudo. He just monologues at us.
Yeah.
And then when he's expected to fight, it's substandard. And I'm like, why? You built up this villain.
Yeah.
He should be scary. Same thing with Sigourney Weaver. Okay, so she can't fucking fight fast because the actress can't. So give her powers. Give her chi powers. We've already established she comes from Kunlun. I mean, there's so many things you could do. And in my opinion, that means the director was lacking in vision. That's what it means to me. Because you could have made those villains scary. And what's more, this entire project was a blowjob to him. Because he's the one that introduced the hand in season 2. That was his big thing. He had to blow up the hand. Then in Defenders, instead of going, okay, that's a Daredevil plot. That's an Iron Fist plot. That's not a Jessica Jones or Luke Cage plot. So we're going to have to create a whole separate plot like we did for Avengers to bring all these heroes together to fight this villain. No, instead I'm going to use the same old shit that I've used as like an ode to myself. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me.
I just thought of the plot that'll save the whole thing. Shadowland. We need to do the Shadowland plot. Because Charlie Cox could do it. It's where Daredevil goes off his rocker and realizes that you can't stop crime. So he basically goes apeshit, beats the shit out of all the street level villains, then makes them work under him as the new Kingpin. That's what needs to happen.
A blind Kingpin. I'm kind of behind that.
And he sits there in the fucking Daredevil costume and a fucking throne. It's awesome. Shadowland is the plot that will save the Netflix Marvel universe.
Well, then no one can beat him because literally no one can beat Daredevil
in the Netflix Marvel universe.
Yes, because apparently Daredevil is just the badass. Which I'm a little confused. I know that Matt has some boxing training, but he has his martial arts training from Stick a bit, right? Mm-hmm. So why is it when he's in a stance, he's always in this weird like boxing weird stance? Like you don't, not a boxer. You're supposed to be a kung fu person.
But no, comparatively to all the other series, this one it felt like reviewer made the perfect remark, and I'm gonna use it here. And I'm sorry, Nameless Reviewer, but they said that the show Defenders felt more like a series obligation than a build up to what could have been. And I think that Defenders could have been amazing. I think that if you had a better director who thought outside the box, would have been amazing. I won't agree that it could have been as good as Avengers, because I don't think Avengers was that great. I think it could have been better than Avengers, especially since Netflix can get away with the whole like Disney stickler for no rated R. Netflix doesn't give a shit about ratings.
Yeah, fucking in that show.
So I'm just like, we could have had so much better than than Avengers, but we had a director who had no talent and had no vision. I mean, that seems harsh, but to be honest, I thought Daredevil season 2 lacked both those things.
See, here's my thing. This also comes from a little bit of my film background. I don't always put the blame always on the director, because it's also the writers. It's also it's also the producers.
Final say in the writing script.
In the writing script, but as it all getting down, it's actually executive producers. They pretty much say like if we're gonna put the shit out or not. It's them too. They have
well, then I guess I have to blame everybody.
Yeah, it's a check and balance.
It was a team effort. This fuck up was strong.
It was a team effort.
Was a team effort.
But it's usually between the producers, the executive producers, and the director. Those are the three. That's the checks and balances of making a film.
Like I said, then it was very. I have no knowledge of that, but then if that's true, then it's a team effort. They all fucked up. The shit went down.
This is why I hate Green Hornet, because Seth Rogen was the writer, director, and executive producer.
Don't talk about that shit to me. I couldn't even watch that. The Green Hornet's a great property.
I watched it in the movies.
You paid for that?
I paid for that.
You gave that son of a bitch money.
I gave him money. And
you should feel bad about it.
Let's put it like this. That man can go die, and I wouldn't care. I have wished death on him on Twitter so many times already.
That man owes you a blowjob, because you paid money for a good time, and you didn't
everything that man makes is complete shit.
He would be shit ahead. Side note.
No. What'd you say?
He said that he owes you a blowjob because you spent money for a good time, didn't have one. I'm like, but he would be bad at head too.
I'm gonna give a shout out to some of my favorite YouTubers, Comic Pop, because Sal from Comic Pop put Seth Rogen. You want to talk about Seth Rogen? Put it in the best way. We are so glad that you're a comic book fan. We are. That's great. More fans, the better.
Go do it at home.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Keep it in the privacy of your own private life.
Because you can't do comics.
No,
you can't.
I'm glad that he's a fan.
And there's a Tumblr interview that he did with somebody. Oh, it was an interview I saw on Tumblr. And the person said, like, hey, you have to be really proud of yourself. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, you've been able to play a 36-year-old stoner in almost in every movie you've ever been. Like, most people would move on past that, but you stayed right into it. And it's another stream of just him going like, yeah. I was like, you are a stoner, 36-year-old stoner who has nothing to do for his life in every single film,
and
including Green Hornet.
And he's made a living off of it.
Seth Rogen. I swear, like, this is not me being upset, nerd raging like that. I really would not care if Seth Rogen died tomorrow. I don't care. I really don't care.
To be honest, Seth Rogen, if you want my honest opinion, since you're giving yours, it is that bad kind of nerd who's really excited about the things he's really excited about, but shows you only his point of view. And then when you go, well, if you look at this, no, this is how it is. No, Seth, it's not.
But that's sad. Like, I try to ask for the good part of Defenders, and we really can't think of that much.
There are very few. It's an effort, an A for effort.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get, nothing else really holds up.
Oh, there was one thing that I could not stand, and I was talking to my wife about it.
Only
what's
one.
Happening. Huh?
Only one.
It was a big thing for me, though. and it's something really simple. Okay, Jessica Jones held that elevator, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone jumped off the elevator, and she dropped it. Two things. One, didn't they throw Murakami off the elevator and right below it? Mm-hmm. But when they dropped the elevator never made it down to the bottom floor.
No, it didn't.
And Murakami was stabbed with something else like 10 feet, like 20 feet away from the actual shaft.
And then Madame Gao was just kind of there. But, and for me, it's like, well, that just happened off screen. I mean, I learned that from, DC. Things just happen off screen. But and the elevator falling was one of them. I mean,
apparently, even though as soon as we dropped it, we go right back down to Elektra and Daredevil fighting because they're Batman and Catwoman. They got to die together.
Ooh, don't.
They're so Batman and Catwoman.
No,
get over it.
Selena
get over it.
No,
get over it.
really.
They are so Batman
Not
and Catwoman.
really.
It's the exact same.
That's Batman and Talia at best. Catwoman doesn't kill.
Okay, I'll give you Talia. Fine, whatever.
Again, we get into my problem with like that entire conversation is that Catwoman and Batman can't be a thing because Catwoman is a cat and therefore can't stay around long enough to do anything.
And she generally doesn't.
That's why I don't get fans who are like, those are the epic couple. Not really, no, because Catwoman don't want that. She wants to fuck it. She don't want to keep it. I mean, that. How was
the dick is good, but it's not good enough for me to stop.
Exactly. I'm just saying. But I don't know. Elektra, I didn't get her motivation through it. I didn't even really get what the Black Sky was. I still this day I'm.
They never explain what the Black Sky
as to what Black Sky is.
And apparently, there's more than one because in
the little boy,
little boy in the first one was the Black Sky, and Stick killed him. And it's like, okay, so there's more than one Black Sky, so we can just do this again.
Here's what kills me: in season 1 of Daredevil, which was directed and I believe written by a different person. Mm-hmm. In season 1 of Daredevil, Stick would do anything to kill that one little boy who was supposed to be the Black Sky, right? Following the Netflix timeline, that freaking Stick had already been raising Elektra. The fuck? He was so adamant that every version of Black Sky would need to die.
Well, we all didn't know that she was Black Sky until season 2, until at the end of season 2.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So we just, it's not really a retcon if you just ignore facts.
Well, and technically Stick still kind of a bit held true to his character because he was like, we are assuming that there were 2 options, run or fight, and then he takes the sword, he looks at Iron Fist, he goes, or I could just kill you.
Well, that's a third option.
And I'm like, fair enough.
Also, I still love that scene when we first get Stick that he's being interrogated. It's like, I got a sword. I gotta get out of here. Slip. I'm done. Like, cut off his hand without even a hesitation. Like, now, that is fucking dedication.
Later on, what pissed me off is that he just kills one of the fingers of the hand, just like that.
Yeah. So one day, the one who doesn't, the black guy who doesn't matter.
Yes, he literally
because literally he was. Here's the thing. They even made a big thing about Murakami. Like, when Stick was talking about everyone, there's Sawande, and then there's a badass dude, Murakami. He's real sick when he gets around. What did Murakami do besides skin a fucking bear?
A moon bear.
Moon bear.
You know why I know that? Subtitles, bitch. But
I found out if you do not have subtitles on there, you get nothing but Japanese. You don't get this. You don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Really?
So we just lucked out.
There's nothing.
Oh my god, we lucked out.
Because a couple of people online. There's a friend of mine. She's a voice actress, and she was watching it with friends, and she said, "I hate that moment when I'm sitting with friends and there are no subtitles for somebody speaking Japanese, and they ask me to translate." It's like, wow, they don't have subtitles for the person who's speaking Japanese without really nothing.
Well, also, I don't mean to be a dick, and maybe this comes off as dickish, but all his lines
are in Japanese. And no one here speaks Japanese.
By the way, it is canon that he can understand English,
which confuses me to this day.
And
if you can understand it,
that Japanese is not his only language, because Madame Gao says that they are all immortal and they can all speak multiple languages.
But that bitch only speaks Japanese.
Exactly, which is really fucking weird.
And it's this one thing I talked through. I don't understand how this works in movies. Like, I understand that if you're very fluent in a language, that you can translate and talk back to it. But these people are talking in 2 different languages. In Japanese, he's understanding Japanese, he's understanding English, and he's speaking Japanese. She's understanding Japanese and speaking English right back. And there's no pausing between them to figure out what's going on. It's simply like, oh, you're just speaking a language. Okay, I understand completely.
Just reading dialogue.
It's like...
No processing time. Well, it's the same thing with... There's one point where she's been speaking English the whole conversation, and then she responds in like 1 word in Japanese.
Baka.
No.
It was like, really?
And
really anime talk? Are you serious? We're talking about Alexandra when she said that.
So basically, this was less like a shit sandwich and more like we tried to put a tortilla on a shit tostada, and it didn't kind of work out.
There's not a lot of good. Like I said, I do love the colors because the main one I noticed that it's like, it's really red here. It's like, goddamn, it's really yellow in Harlem, but it's really blue wherever the hell Jessica Jones is.
And it's usually smoky white wherever the fuck the white boy is. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, it's like you brought up too, the soundtrack. Like, the soundtrack was dead on.
There's one issue I have with the soundtrack.
Oh, really?
It's at the very, very end when the final fight. First, we have this epic music, but then when they do the second round of fighting them, it turns to Luke Cage hip hop when everyone else is still fighting. Where did that fucking come from?
I completely forgot about that.
Golden opportunity, because if they were gonna do that, they should have done
Mortal
Kombat. That would have been amazing.
Oh my god! Okay, great casting idea. Stick as rated.
Okay.
That's what we need to do. We need to take all these actors and put them in the new
I can kind of see it, even though Raiden is Chinese.
Highlander.
Not a good Raiden.
No, dude. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
He was a good actor, and whatever character he played in Mortal Kombat was a good character. He wasn't Raiden. Raiden had no problem getting down and fighting some niggas. That Raiden did not want to fight. The second one wanted to fight, but he was a douche nozzle.
You mean Dexter's dad?
I don't.
No, that was the actor.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. Second one was down to fight and down to fuck Jade for some reason. Like, damn, she's hot. You hit that yet? Like, Raiden, you just turned human. Calm yourself. That he's not Raiden.
But
he's not Raiden. So Highlander's not Raiden. But
Highlander is Raiden.
No, he's not.
Hashtag my Highlander.
But,
hashtag you're Raiden.
Yep, and Highlander.
That's pretty much going to be our joke now. Hashtag not something like that. Yo, go ahead.
But I don't know. With all of it, it was just a little. I mean, we've shown that Luke Cage can indeed be affected by concussive force.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hence the reason the shotgun had anything to do with him.
And the fist to the face, which was really, really good. I actually like that scene.
It was good because it was a what the fuck moment because he was not expecting
some rinky ass white boy fucking hooking.
Okay, wait. I just realized something. That makes even less sense. We've already established that all his insides are regular human, right?
Yeah.
He got knocked in the jaw and flew into the wall.
His jaw was not broke.
And he didn't spit up any blood or anything either.
No, it's not just that. His brain shook from that shot, and he was totally fine. But a shotgun to the face will knock him out and put him in a coma. But this magical fist that made his brain shake and hit into a wall didn't stop him.
They want to have to slow the pace of the show down.
I'm just saying continuity is kind of weird.
All we've already established the fist doesn't work quite right. He didn't take his Viagra.
Yeah, I'm saying that thing is so finicky.
A square peg will not fall into a square hole. I'm just saying.
It's
that's so like I was screaming at the TV while watching it. My husband was not home, thank God. And I saw them in Luke Cage. The conversation they have, folks. Everyone wants to blow up the building. Everyone except for Luke Cage. He goes, "The fuck is wrong with you, crazy people?" And they're all like, "No, we got to blow up the building." And he's like, "Okay, but no innocent people get hurt.
If we do this, only the monsters get killed."
And I'm like, wait. This is like 9/11. You can't just fucking say only the bad people get hurt. Now, I'm like, that's not how it works.
Here's the second thing, though. Like you said earlier, that when Jessica heard, it's like, I'm ready to go fucking home. At first, she was against it too. It was only Colleen and Daredevil was like, "Hey, we gotta blow this fucking building up."
Well, no,
Jessica was like, "No, we're not doing this. Why the fuck would we blow up a building?"
Iron Fist was for it, and then
Iron Fist was downstairs. He wasn't there.
Yeah. And then Claire was for it.
Yeah.
She's like, "I've seen what the fuck these people can do." I'm like, wait, I thought you were speaking sense. Now you're speaking crazy. It's a building. What's the building?
There can only be one voice of the audience at a time.
Apparently.
And like I said, Jessica Jones said no.
What is it with these writers and having the characters tell me what they're feeling during dialogue? Why not just show me?
Because it's comics.
Because they don't...
But it's a different medium.
It's a comic movie.
Not all comic book shows do that, though. It's just some people don't believe their audience is intelligent enough to process.
Like I said, I get the argument of they tell you, like, comic books are more fluid with showing you and telling you how the character's feeling. And that makes sense because it's hard to show somebody live in real time on a piece of paper. But this is a different medium. This is a movie. You can do, or a show. You can do a lot more than what you can do in a comic book. You don't need to tell me that you're angry. When Jessica Jones punches through a wall, I know she's angry. When she breaks a fucking sink because her stepmom is, or her new mom is beating the shit out of her stepsister, I get the fact she's angry. I don't need her to scream, "I'm angry," and rip the fucking sink off. And yet, in Iron Fist, and again in Defenders, they feel the need to tell me what the characters are feeling. I'm like, why don't you just show me? Why do you have to tell me what you're feeling? Why don't you just show me what you're feeling? Because that's what normal people do. A normal person does not yell, "I'm going to punch you," right before they punch you. They punch you. That's all I'm saying.
I would like a warning if someone's going to punch me in the face.
It's
just being considerate.
I said punch you. I didn't say nothing about your face. If anything, your face is so hideous it would redirect the punch.
Oh,
just saying.
It's kind of a reach, but I'm gonna give you that one. It's kind of a reach. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Lord. Everything is kind of a reach when it comes to your face.
Just a reach around. It's okay. Just a reach around.
I want the internet to remember that he just propositioned a married man.
What the fuck was that for?
That was for me.
Oh, okay.
Mine was bad. I was ready to give that to me. That was me. That was bad.
We was all talking.
Let's say, what the fuck?
No, that was for me. That was horrible.
All right. So I feel like we've pretty much said everything we're gonna say without, because we could go on all night about this, but I feel like we pretty much said.
Oh no, I have one last thing. One last thing I didn't understand. Okay, the architect had that entire motel room filled with C4, right?
Mm-hmm.
But somehow Colleen was able to get it out in one bag.
Oh my
Hammer
god, no,
space.
no, no.
Hammer space.
Back to that though, like to further elaborate on that shit.
Mhm.
Okay, first of all, you let a night nurse, and whatever the fuck Colleen Wing is,
A martial arts teacher.
whatever, lay out fucking C4 like they know how to compromise the structural integrity of a fucking building.
And they only put it in one place.
And they were like, oh, but we have the designs. What did the architect do? Draw a giant red arrow and say, put bomb here?
Actually, if you look at there are circles.
There are
There are multiple
Oh
circles.
my god, who the fuck does that?
Somebody who's gonna blow up a building.
No, he's the architect who designed the building. Why would he need to be like, hey, cops? Just
No.
in case you wanted to do
Well, no, he
No, he-
realized what the hand was doing.
He was gonna blow up the building. That's
Yeah,
why
he was.
Yeah, so that's why he circled it so you know where to go.
Oh my god, he built the building.
Doesn't mean you remember where everything is.
Bullshit.
It's a building.
Bullshit.
It's a building.
No, he built it. It was one of his greatest works. They say so. And the Hand were the people that he built it for because they threatened him. Bullshit. In Star Wars Rebel, they fucking did that. Rogue. He fucking remembered every goddamn place. Don't even fight. That was the Death Star.
That was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay? That was a long time
Okay,
ago.
well, guess what? This was on World 616.
Earth 616, but nice try.
Oh, fuck off.
Holy crap.
Sorry, I can't nerd as far as you.
I feel
It's
like
okay.
they should have just called the guy from Wakanda. He didn't know how to blow up a building without hurting people.
What would he have known how to do that?
They have their super technological nation.
So that means he knows how to blow up buildings?
Yes.
He's black. That doesn't make him a terrorist.
No, he's a freaking...
The Baron Zemo knows how to blow up a building.
Oh
you
my
can
God.
say that.
Not the that's not Baron Zemo. You talking about
Not my Baron Zemo.
No, it's not. My Baron Zemo wears a pink sock bodysuit.
Purple, good sir. Purple.
Is it the Mandarin?
The Mandarin, yes.
Okay.
No, you mean the white guy?
Not the ancient Chinese elder with a ring for each
No,
finger.
I don't think that actor's actually white.
He's English, I thought.
He's English, but I think he's Indian.
Okay, you're thinking about Bing Kingsley. I'm talking about the person who was supposed to
The
be
guy
Oh,
who's
yeah,
actually the Mandarin.
Aiden, whatever, who's
No,
part of
He was
AIM.
the Mandarin plus MODOK because he was the head of
Which?
AIM.
No. No. I want my giant head in a chair, little bitty
No,
legs,
wait.
little bitty arms, MODOK.
Time out. That voice should not come out your face.
Which voice? I forgot.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm
that
sorry.
sounded derptastic.
I'm sorry. I was upset.
Oh, have you not been listening to him talk to the entire point of our friendship? He sounds derptastic.
I want giant head in a little bitty chair with little bitty legs and little bitty arms and him screaming, "Made in order to kill." I want that MODOK. I don't want some pasty ass white dude with dragon tattoos that can spit fire now.
Look, I all I got to tell you is that him and the Mandarin are the same person with no magic powers, and there ain't no gay people, there ain't no crippled people, and Baron Zemo don't wear a bodysuit. And Black Panther has like 10 people in his city.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't have no problem without the bodysuit if he would have picked up a goddamn rapier.
Once.
Just
Even
once. Because
Also,
Baron can fight
Also,
Cap
if he was...
to a standstill with that sword.
I also feel like,
even
and
know.
this may be a nitpick, he should have been a Baron. Because that really was a key part of his, like, legitimate key part of his character.
I
He wasn't
don't
just a
know.
dude named Zemo. That's like saying, fuck, there's a dude named Adolf. It's not Hitler.
wait, okay.
But this dude named Adolf.
Refresh my memory.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he and what movie was he in?
Civil War.
Civil War.
No, not
He
Civil War.
Yeah,
Civil War?
no, it was
Yeah,
Civil
Civil
War.
War.
He's the dude that engineered everything. The white dude whose family died in
How do you
Sokovia.
know? Does he ever call himself Baron Zemo?
He calls himself Zemo.
once.
Oh. Well,
And-
I guess I just don't
And
know
if you
that
weren't paying
character.
attention to that one scene in the background,
And
yeah.
know exactly who that character is.
Exactly.
Because I don't.
You literally, because there's no other way to know he's Zemo. There's literally one scene where he says the name I'm Zemo or some shit, and everyone who's read a comic is like, and
But like when they cast it, say, "Hey, Baron Zemo's gonna be in Civil War." I said, "Awesome, cool. I'm ready to see rapier wielding, mask wearing Baron Zemo fight."
cough up a lung and still beat the shit out of Cap
America. Oh no, we're gonna have Cap versus thing, and Zemo's gonna be looking like, "Yes, fight for me."
With like,
Yes, that is
by
exactly
the
what
way,
he fucking
they-
did in that movie.
They never reference
In
any
Civil War?
fan. Yeah,
Yes,
I think
he was the creepy
No, no,
white
no.
dude who set everything up.
that I kind of just was done after the arm flex, the pull, the helicopter.
Oh, you mean
Hmm.
the homoerotic check?
I'm sorry, I'm straight, and that was sexy.
That
as
was-
fuck.
After
that
I
was
like-
sexy.
After that, the rest of the movie was kind of a blur. I was,
I'm.
Hey,
Sexy man.
Wasn't it you that said you were going through Netflix's gay and lesbian category and Civil War was
Civil
in
War
there?
popped up, and I was like, "Why is this under LGBT movies?" And it's just like it's got Iron Man, which is Stark, and Captain America, and I'm like, I don't even ship those two, but apparently the internet is right.
No, they ship
The
them
internet ships
hard.
And I'm like, well, apparently even Netflix does because
There's actually-
they're under LGBT.
Is there a 3-way or a 4-way between him, Winter Soldier, and Falcon? There's actually
I feel
No,
like
it's Hawkeye.
it's Hawkeye.
I've
Okay.
seen that. It's Hawkeye,
okay.
which is weird because he's married.
And
I find that weird.
not in their head canon. In their head canon, those 4 are
Well,
married. Those 4 are married.
Brother husbands.
I find it weird that Hawkeye has a family, considering Hawkeye's a douchebag. The movies make him better, but Clint Barton's a douchebag.
Cripple?
No, like
No.
I'm a good douchebag.
No. In what world?
This one.
In what world?
Let me just. Okay, you're a bad douchebag. A good douche is what you put up your ass to clean yourself out for sex.
And vaginas too. Women use them also.
I'm sorry.
They try
Get
to
your heterosexuality out of my homosexuality.
Get your homosexuality out of my heterosexual mind. I don't need that
What
shit
is
in
the
my
Reese's
mind.
version of sexuality? Because that just happened.
Bisexuality.
Hey, your husband's here. He's the Reese's of sexuality.
I hope that.
I
caught
hope
on the
they
mic.
heard this snap. I
hope
really
that
do.
Caught on the mic.
I really do.
Him snapping.
But there's a lot of problems with the MCU.
Nothing.
By the way, how is Adam Warlock's cocoon in
Shut
the
up.
collector's thing?
Shut up.
But he's somehow
Stop,
with
man.
the metal people. Can
Don't-
someone
don't
explain
ask.
that to me?
I mean, because that's not.
Because they didn't point it out. Remember, that was him at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Thank you. Not messing love.
You wanna
have
plug
not
yours?
seen the second one yet.
It doesn't ruin anything. It's a
Oh.
post-credit scene. It
Okay.
really spoils nothing.
Okay.
With one of the groups of people that I won't give you any information that have been bird dogging the Guardians throughout the movie. There's a post-credit scene where there's a metal thing, and they're like, "And we shall call it Atom."
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yes, that was
That
all.
was really
I didn't
weird.
ruin the movie for you because
Okay.
these people were so shoehorned in. You saw it. They were so shoehorned into the movie.
It was really weird.
Yes, but somehow he's in 2 places at once.
But then again, in my opinion, Guardians 1 was better than Guardians 2.
Yes. Also, my wife is still upset that Cosmo did not make an appearance.
I kind of want Cosmo to come back.
The Russian space
And I also,
dog.
I'm the only reason why I will watch Inhumans is just to see Lockjaw.
Yes!
I just want Lockjaw.
Apparently they finally fixed Medusa's hair.
Finally,
Finally.
She doesn't look like she got a costume for Hobby
her
Lobby.
hair has looked shit in every photo we've seen. Apparently they just now applied the CG like a month before it premieres.
On the posters or
Yes.
just okay.
Yes, they finally. Apparently, all the posters shit they've been releasing were non-CG. So apparently, to make the CG take, it looks like Muppet hair. Ask Zip Tie. It's bad.
I haven't seen it.
It looks like Muppet hair, folks. Muppet hair. Elmo is probably sewn into her head somewhere. It's bad.
Okay, let's wrap up
Yeah.
Defenders because we're
right.
getting there.
2 things for our rating system this time. Does it stand up against the Avengers films? How does it compare? And how does it compare to the other 4 series? We'll start with the Master of Time and Space. Go.
Compared to Avengers, I would rather watch Avengers. Defenders, if they would just fix the glaring issues that has been issues since fucking Daredevil season 2, since Iron Fist, fix them. If they would have fixed those 2 things, which is the dark fighting and the shitty character of Danny Rand, this would have been a much better show. Much better. I could have dealt with the hand being the villains. I'm fine with it. I wouldn't have cared if I could have liked all of the heroes better, and if I could have enjoyed watching them fight. I couldn't get any of that. So honestly, no, I would not recommend Defenders to anybody. I would tell them to skip this entire thing. Eladris?
for me, I'd rather watch Defenders for the heroes, but I'd rather watch Defenders for the heroes, but Avengers for the villains. To be honest, they're both bad to me. I'm harsh, and I didn't like any of the Avengers movies. I really don't, and I didn't like Defenders. As far as recommending it, I'd say do what I'm doing and pick your favorite superhero and only follow them, and kind of ignore the fact that this thing hit Netflix. Because it was hyped up and it was not worth the hype at all.
And for the cripple, I kind of gotta stick with these guys. There's no recommendation. As far as Avengers versus this, there are bits and pieces of both that are good. I feel like overall, to be honest, this series still beat out the Avengers movies, if I'm being honest, for
Okay.
quality. But I mean, the big advantage those movies have, and I feel like it's one of the big points. I don't know if Eladris would agree with me that he probably would, or that you guys would do. Is it shorter? I feel like at the end of the day, when I'm doing the comparison, the main reason it wins out is if I'm forced to watch one of the two, at least.
I would watch Avengers. And here's the thing: the action's better in the movie, so it's like okay.
And as far as the TV series go, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage far surpassed the rest of them, and Defenders lags behind that. And then Daredevil season 1 is a weird thing because Daredevil can be split to 2, in my opinion.
Pretty much the bottom of the rung, it's still Iron Fist season 1, then Daredevil season 2, then just Defenders, and then at the top echelon is still Jessica Jones and Luke Cage for me, and then we got Daredevil season 1. That's where I'm at on that.
All right. Well, I believe that's it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed this special edition, and we'll catch you next time at the Center of the Multiverse.
This is your master of time and space, thanking you for listening to the Crippled Talks Comics podcast. If you have any suggestions or questions for us, go ahead and send us an email at crippledtalkscomics@gmail.com. That's crippledtalkscomics@gmail.com. You can listen to this and all other archive podcasts at iTunes, Stitcher, and the Crippled Talks Comics YouTube page. That's iTunes, Stitcher, and the Crippled Talks Comics YouTube page.